Warning. The B3F podcast may contain language or subject matter that may not be suitable for kids. You've been fucking warned. Check out some friends of the show. The Two Brothers Podcast. The Trevor Jackson Podcast. Dem Jackson Boys. The Dumbass Dudes Podcast. Pop Culture Warrior. Happened in the 90s podcast. Follow at The Andy Harris on Twitter. Go to our website at b3fpodcast.com for merch. Click on Tell Us What You Really Think to leave a completely anonymous review of each of us.
Oh,
yeah, just some sick fuckers and I like that.
Enjoy the show, you cunts.
All right.
I wasn't sure what you were showing me on your phone. I was like, I know what your wife looks like. And then I thought you were saying like you got a new iPhone.
I was showing you what time it was.
Yeah, no, I got that after you said it's 7.
Yeah.
It's like, what are you showing me?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's weird starting this early. I don't know, being...
it's an hour earlier than normal, but a different day.
And during the week. Yeah.
Yes. So, anyway. But you've got, you're playing husband this weekend, so...
Yeah.
So you gotta do this, which is fine.
Well, and well, actually, I might not be going to Huntsville now. No, but the reason being is Eli decided to go to prom. He's got a prom date.
Oh, that's right.
And it was a last-minute call.
Yeah, you were telling me that.
And so Amanda and I were talking about it, and the fact that he's never really had to throw on a suit before, tux and all that shit. I was like, probably be good to stay and help him get ready and do all that stuff.
Yeah, you were saying that you're going to do that, but then after that, you're going to bust.
That was the plan. So depending on what time.
But so now Amanda's concerned he's going to bring somebody back and fuck.
No, I think at this point we'd both be happy with that result. So anyway, we were just talking about it. And,
so
her thing was more of, I don't want you to have to rush to get down there, and then
right.
you're gonna be back late, and I have to go to North Carolina on Sunday to take the kids back and all that shit. So
his date, what's his name?
Right. I'm gonna be nice, and I'm not gonna go into it too much since a couple of his buddies listen from time to time. So
that's fine.
But yeah, tomorrow's my last day.
It's Talon, isn't it?
At the current job, I don't know.
No, yeah, it's today. So tomorrow's your last day?
Tomorrow's
your last day.
Yeah.
It feels like Friday to me for some reason.
And the reason it was going to be next week.
Right.
And then I got a call, basically was like, yeah, we're going to go ahead and just, because I was taking the rest of my vacation next week. Because I
hate it when people do that.
Y'all do?
Put in a notice and then take vacation during the notice.
Yeah.
Like, to me, the notice is to be there to work out your notice.
Yeah, but I gave a 30-day notice.
I agree, and that's the only reason I'm not calling you a loser piece of shit.
Right. But also depends on the job, right? Because I have PTO to take, and sometimes it's been my experience in the past, it can be a pain in the dick to get a payout for that PTO because they owe you for it monetarily. And so it's easier just to fucking take it.
It depends on what the agreement is when you start a job. But
well,
sure.
Salary, but most of the time, if you're given 2 weeks of PTO, like you're owed 2 weeks of PTO, especially if it's a use it or lose it type of situation. And you're not one that takes time off unless it's like a need usually.
I'm trying to do better about that.
Or if it's a plan ahead type of deal. And for me, like, dude, at any company, like, I kick ass at whatever I fucking do, because I work hard while I'm there and all that shit. You know, I try to do a good job. But like in the end of the day, you're a number. Like, you're not a fucking like human being in the scheme of corporate. So fuck them. Take your time off.
Sure. No. I agree. If you're given time off, you should take your time off. So one thing, and I don't know if it's just something we've never really discussed. Like, I don't have sick time or personal time or whatever. I have vacation days and then whatever holidays that we're closed on. So like, if I just wake up and am sick or whatever, I just shoot an email and then I don't go to work. I get paid for it or whatever. But outside of that, if my wife has an appointment like she did this past Monday, I just throw it on the calendar. I don't take vacation days, personal time, nothing. I just take off and do it. I mean, but yeah, I mean, I'm trying to, I carried over, I think 4.5 days of vacation this past year. And it's nice though, because you have to use it in the first 90 days of the year. So it makes me take some time off early in the year.
Right.
So
Yeah, and see, with me, with the kids being young, I have to take. I don't get to take much time off to do shit I want to do. Most time, it's like, oh fuck, I've got to
sure.
go to a jiu-jitsu tournament. I've got to go do this. So like, I end up taking a lot of my because I took 3 sick days last week because I had 3, and I just took all fucking 3 of them. I don't give a fuck. Because when he called me, he was like,
gotcha.
he goes, "How were your sick days last week?" I was like, "They were fucking fantastic." And then
Sick, bro.
sick, bro. But yeah, but I don't know. But yeah, so with that, I tend like this time I only have 3 days left, 4 days left for the, but our
Sure.
cycles, whatever. But I've had so much time I've had to take with the kids for shit. Because my whole thing is because I'm an absentee dad, enough. I try to at least get to the big things, and they're always during the
Sure.
fucking week, so.
No, that's true. So there's something else I was fixing to ask you about.
Oh yeah,
all
we're
of this.
drinking. We haven't even
well
talked about
that, but so go ahead, go over that.
Oh no, so I just was at the shop or at the liquor store, and we were trying to figure out what we were gonna get, and it was just us, and we were running short on time.
I started to text you and go get a Mickey's Big Mouth
I didn't even think about Mickey's. I blanked out.
Mad Dog again.
Yeah, I blanked out. I was there. So I got us a grab bag that we're gonna use for our episode
next week.
And so the other, because I gave you the choice, grab bag or these, and I got these pre-mixed, ready to drink margarita cocktails.
Rancho La Gloria,
Yeah.
handcrafted.
Yeah, I got the
ready
cheap.
to
I
drink
got the
margarita
least
wine
expensive
cocktail.
ones they had.
Made with 100% de agave wine, real lime juice, and natural flavor.
See, agave wine is what gets me.
Right.
It's not
13.9%.
Oh, I should have gotten some salt. I didn't think about this.
I almost brought it down, but then I thought, well, no, there was something in that bottle. It's floating around in my glass.
That might have been in your glass. Cheers.
No, I checked that. It is not as bad as I thought it was going to be.
It definitely hollow. You can definitely tell the difference that it's not tequila in it.
Well, that's what you get with agave wine.
Yeah, it's true.
So yeah, we'll do.
I feel like that would be the. Never mind.
All right.
I can't even bring myself to say it.
Well, go ahead.
I was like, do you remember the country song in the 90s? It was a huge hit, Strawberry Wine.
Yes.
Yeah. So I immediately thought of it'd be the translated Mexican version would be agave wine.
I got you. The Rancho version.
Yeah, the Rancho version.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Go ahead, sing it for us.
No. God damn it.
What have you got to lose?
Nothing.
You get tonight and next Saturday. What have you got to lose?
I don't know.
Oh God. So later on tonight, as we record this at live and whatever on Thursday night, we're gonna be on Bobby Lucas, the porn rapper.
Yep.
On the Smokers Lounge podcast with him later.
Which usually he
tonight.
talks of like porn stars and adult entertainment people. So it's
Maybe he's trying to reel us in.
right. He is definitely. I mean, I guess there's got to be niche things for like small dicks and stuff. I mean, that's got to be a thing.
Oh, I mean, for sure.
Well, I see what I'm curious about if there's small dick. I know there's like micro peen porn. People are, because it's like a fetishism.
So you're
like
talking
an
about
extreme thing.
average white guy,
like average
dick.
white guy dick. Like, does
Yeah.
anybody really like? Do they think it's like, you know what? I feel
It's
like
like
it's
5.5 inches hard.
I feel like it's either I want to see some of that sweet ass fucking mega man clit, or I want to see something that looks like a fucking tree railing that girl.
I just
Like I want to see a really average guy, kind of a little chubby but not fat, just go into town on somebody.
I was scrolling through Time Hop as you were shitting up my bathroom,
Mhm.
and I need to go to it because this was 3 years ago. So
Out of respect, I did not bring my flushable wipes in.
oh wow, I do appreciate that because it's hell on a septic system.
Not one.
Yes, it can be.
Okay.
It can be. It kills bacteria.
Mhm.
And you have to have bacteria in a septic system.
Mhm.
The fuck is this at?
But I also don't want bacteria in my butthole. So better your septic system than my butthole.
Untrue. I don't see it anymore.
Oh well, shit.
Yeah, I know. Oh well. I'm not going to open up Time Hop, but I'm not doing that.
Yeah.
So, but it was the I'm pretty sure I sent it to you 3 years ago, but it was Toy Story.
Mhm.
And it was Buzz Lightyear says you're mocking me, and Woody says, oh no, I'm not. Oh look, Buzz, an alien. And then it flips to this skinny black guy with like a 13-inch dick, and he just slaps it and he just bounces.
I remember that.
So
Popped up on the old Time Hop today.
yes, it did. So Anyway, I remember what I was going to ask you about time off or whatever. You said you don't ever get to use your days for something you want to do.
I don't often.
Okay.
Yeah.
Regardless.
Irregardless.
If you were taking off a day for something you want to do, what would that be?
Usually just be either go to town,
drive to Pennsylvania.
Yeah, exactly. That would be an example. No, a lot of times it'll be because we don't play it with the kids and shit. We haven't been and nobody to, consistently available to pets or animals and shit like that. So we don't get to go on a lot of vacation. It would be vacations.
Don't know why you haven't utilized my daughter more often for that.
Right.
That's what she does on the side is pet sit.
Yeah.
She's doing it tonight.
Except she forgot to come by and get the keys twice. And Amanda was like, yeah, I don't feel too comfortable with that now.
I'll ask her about it.
Yeah.
But I remember her saying, well, they wanted me to come by and get the keys. And then it was something else like, well, hold off or something like that.
I don't know. Because I stay out of the affairs of whatever.
Because I thought, yeah.
And Amanda and I just had second thoughts because of the animals. I don't know.
Yeah, whatever. That's fine.
Regardless of that, but I also don't have extra money to go on vacation most of the time because I spend all of it going to get the kids and all that shit. So half the time, if I take time off, it's literally to do fuck all. Like I don't do shit.
I see.
Yeah. So, I mean, and occasionally it'll be, hey, we're gonna go, out of town like a short weekend. We've done that a few times. Gone down to, I think we went to Atlanta once and just a couple small things like that. But
a long weekend to Atlanta,
IKEA, baby.
That's a day trip.
Not if you do it right.
No, you're doing it wrong.
No,
you spend more than a day.
It wasn't
in
a
Atlanta.
long weekend. I took Friday off, and we went down Friday morning, went there, stayed the night, and came back on Saturday. And then was home on Sunday. Yeah, but left at the times where there wasn't any traffic. Blah 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 blah.
What time is that? Because I've driven through Atlanta at multiple times during the day and night, and I've never not had traffic.
What's your
same
definition?
with Chattanooga for me?
What's your definition with traffic? Like stop and go?
Atlanta stop and go. Chattanooga slow down below what the speed limit is supposed to be for the interstate.
Gotcha.
You know, because that gap, when you go through the gap on the other side of Chattanooga, is fucking miserable.
Yeah. Well, going through Atlanta, usually if it's like, oh, that was squeaking and thought, whatever. Anyway, going through it like fucking 1-2 in the morning, I've never hit traffic going through downtown Atlanta unless there's been like a ball game or some shit like that. But it also depends on where in Atlanta you're going. If you're talking about going right through the middle of fucking town, yeah, during the day, I mean, it's worse in the morning and the evenings. Like you have about an hour and a half window between lunch and rush hour that you kind of have to hit, or about an hour and a half window between morning rush hour and lunch that's a decent pocket, but it's a very small pocket.
Drove by or through or whatever you want to call it, Atlanta. It was the afternoon. It wasn't rush hour time, but it was afternoon for sure. And even taking the bypass around Atlanta was just miserable, like 20 to 25 miles an hour.
Just I never take the bypass. Unless it's an offshoot to somewhere I want to go. Otherwise, I plow straight through them.
No, I just go around Atlanta as much as I can. I just steer clear of it as much as I can.
Now depending, like if I'm going North Marietta, I'll take back roads from here all the way fucking down there, so I don't have to worry about the 40. Even though there is a Buc-ee's in between Atlanta and Chattanooga now, so that's something special.
Hard for Buc-ee's.
I am hard for Buc-ee's. But anyway, back to what you're saying. But yeah, usually if I take time off, it's just to do nothing. Like it's just to not have to work and not have to do shit with the kids. It's just to be fucking home. And not do shit. That's vacation for me at this point in my life.
It's just doing nothing.
It's just doing nothing. But I'm also getting to where now, like if it's a short time there and back, like I don't want to go. Like I'd rather just stay home. Like if we're gonna go somewhere, I want to go for like a week, or
so
at least half
a long
a week.
weekend's doesn't do it for you.
No, a long weekend I'm more fucking stressed than when I fucking left. Yeah.
Why?
Because I feel like I'm prepping, getting everything ready to go, going 2 days, and then the whole last day I'm thinking about getting the fuck back. What I got to do at work on Monday, I can't unfucking plug unless I've got some time in between. And even then, I don't want to come back late Sunday. I'd rather get back like Saturday night or Sunday morning, so I have the day to chill before I have to go to work the next day.
Gotcha. No,
but we've talked about that. But I also can't walk in the fucking door and start work. Like I'm at work at least half an hour early every morning.
Yeah, I mean, I get that. The getting back, having to go to work the next day. I finally made the decision this year, even though we're going to be gone for a week on vacation. I took the Monday after vacation off, and I'm going to be home. I'm getting home Saturday night.
Right.
And so I'll be here Sunday already, but I'm just taking Monday off work too.
No,
so
that's awesome.
I'm not doing it.
But one difference too, and that's probably going to change starting the new gig, is I'm currently hourly, right? So when I take vacation time, I'm losing fucking money because of the amount of overtime that I work regularly.
Right.
And so a lot of time it's like, fuck, I need to be at work Monday because I got to make up the hours for the vacation day that I took
Sure.
the fuck off. That type of thing. Yeah.
So, your new job, your
Mhm.
salary, you're gonna be salary.
Fuck yes, I am.
Nice, and you're
Yeah.
gonna spend shitloads of time on the road. So, how do they?
Yeah.
I mean, I'm assuming part of the pay increase you're getting for the job is because you're going to be on the road so much.
Yeah, that's part of it.
So then, I mean, there's no extra for having, if you count being on the road, sometimes you can put in a 60-hour week.
Yeah.
If you count travel time and work time sometimes.
Right.
So I don't know if they do.
No, I don't think it factors in, but I mean, but there's an incentive bonus structure though that kind of, to me, covers for a lot of that shit. And I don't have all the travel details yet. Like I'm supposed to be getting those orientation and all that shit, but
right.
The baseline stuff, but it's stuff I've done before, getting paid way, way better to do very similar things and not have to fucking drive everywhere.
And what was the name of the company again?
Yeah. Right.
I've got two things I want to talk to you about, and I'm not sure which one I want to go over first. All right. So the Johnny Depp trial's going on this week, right?
Yeah, I've watched a couple clips from it.
I see it when I get home because my wife is watching it. But
does she follow shit like that? Will she watch it?
She will watch it at home, but she will watch almost any trial that's on court TV at home. She's interested in the way courtroom.
I just get
works.
mad if I watch that shit long enough. A, I'm bored, but B, I'm like, fuck these guys.
Sometimes she will get pissed at lawyers if she thinks they're doing a shitty job or whatever. But so the Johnny Depp situation is funny. Nah, I think it's that fucking beast of an air conditioner kicked on.
Fucking ghosts.
Well, all right. But I walked in the door and they were
episodes past.
So they were the defense, Amber Heard's lawyer was cross-examining him, and he was reading, I guess, messages that Johnny had sent Amber Heard, and I liked Johnny Depp already. I fucking love Johnny Depp.
Yeah.
So the lawyer's name is Rottenborn. That's his last name, and Johnny keeps calling him by Rottenborn instead of just yes, no, whatever he'll say. Yep, that's correct, Mr. Rottenborn. Or what?
Yeah.
But the lawyer's reading a message, and the message from Johnny to Amber was along the lines of, no, I have better plans for your throat than to cut it or something like that. And then the lawyer read it again. I have better plans for your throat than to cut it. And he said, is that correct? And Johnny goes, could you read that again? Fucking baller, man.
Yeah.
And he grinned. Like he says that and he grins.
Yeah.
And you see him grin
it's
and
like,
laugh to himself every once in a while. It's like, what the fuck has he got to lose? Nothing.
Yeah.
But maybe he loses this case. So what?
Yeah.
Who gives a shit?
Yeah.
Anyway, he's just doing a shitload of stuff. Like the lawyer reads something and goes, did I read that correctly? And he says, you can read, Mr. Rottenborn.
Yeah.
And it's just, I don't know. Fucking, I would like to think if I were in a court, which granted he's suing her and she's countersuing, but I'd like to think that I would be that way if it wasn't, an idiotic situation. But
I know, because I know it's like the suit over defamation or some stupid.
Yeah, he's suing her, saying that piece that she put out in one of the newspapers has kept him from being able to work.
Yeah, which it has, like
probably
to a point. Yeah,
and she's countersuing for like $100 million or something like that. I don't know. But
I heard the only thing I've really watched, because I don't keep up with that shit, but when they played the recording between the two of them, and she was like, yeah, I fucking hit you, but I didn't punch you.
Right.
You're a little baby or whatever it was.
That's what I asked my wife. She was telling me about that earlier. And I was like, what is the difference? Because I guess depending on the situation, I might, if somebody said, I didn't hit you, and I was like, you hit me. You're like, I didn't hit you. I punched you or whatever. Like, I could see doing that. Just, if I'm at the point of balling my fist, I'm going to be an asshole with the dialogue afterwards. But but it's what is the difference between a punch and a hit? Because it's neither of them are a slap.
Right. I don't know. Did they mention slapping specifically?
No, I don't know. I didn't see it. My wife is telling me.
I think a lot of people differentiate that, like if it's open hand or close hand, or like a punch would be here, like hitting might be like if she was beating on his chest or whatever. Like people consider that hitting, not punching. I'm talking about normal people in conversation. I don't know the legal precedence between a punch and a hit.
Sure, I definitely see where if that happened, you would not say they were punching me. You'd say they were hitting me.
Right. Or also like a violent shove. Like, if I'm saying, like, if I'm hitting you and I'm hitting you with the palm of my hand and pushing you back hard, like that could be hitting you, Because it's like,
Interesting.
it's like a strike, but like, as a punch to me indicates specifically it's a balled up fist, knuckles in your goddamn face. That's a punch, period.
Yeah.
But there are other ways to hit people besides a closed up fucking fist.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
I get that, but I just wonder in what instance would somebody say you punched me and you said no, I hit you,
Right.
or vice versa.
Yeah.
But anyway, yeah.
Well, you gotta remember too, these are petty Hollywood motherfuckers that
Sure.
they've probably
sure.
never been actually punched in the face in their lives.
Thanks for the show while I'm at work.
Yeah.
Well, Trevor, I would have invited you to follow along, but you're
All
working,
Trevor
so
would have done is popped on for 2 seconds, tell us he loves us, and then fucking run away again.
probably. Yes.
So you've done your job. Good work, Trevor. We love you.
Yeah. So,
But I have a hard time taking a lot of and it's hard for me to think about sometimes that they're, in spite of their money and whatever, they're still normal people with the same like insecurities, emotions, and shit as everybody else. They just have a fuck ton of money. And in our position, it's easy to be like, well, I wouldn't complain about shit if I had that much money. You might,
sure.
I
mean,
but most of them haven't come from like, it's not like, I hope you're going to bring up the Mike Tyson thing, but holy shit, if you haven't
go ahead, because I'm not sure I know what you're talking about.
Okay, but anyway, it's not like most of these guys are like, fucking Mike Tyson, or not fucking Mike Tyson, or like Mike Tyson and getting punched by him. Like, most of these people have never been actually hit unless it's been a mistake on a fucking action scene.
Yeah.
A lot of them even
you're more
train,
likely to get shot than hit.
right? And even a lot of them, for their fight training and shit, they're still not rolling full contact with that stuff. I mean, there's got a few that box, that have done some things, but most of them don't know what it's like to take a bare knuckle in the goddamn mouth,
No, that's probably true. Yes.
Yeah. So, yeah.
Except Ben Affleck.
Ben Affleck, of course.
Yeah. So what about Mike Tyson?
He punched the dude on a fucking plane, on a JetBlue plane of all places.
I haven't heard this yet.
Yesterday.
Really?
Yeah. Like, I'm talking not just once. He pummeled this motherfucker. Now, you could tell he wasn't swinging full bore. But he bloodied the guy's head up a little bit. Evidently, there's some, and I'm going to paraphrase the story from what I remember. I can't remember shit, but some dude was was behind him and was excited that Mike Tyson was there. Mike Tyson had taken a picture with him, autographed the whole nine, and the guy was like yelling in his ear, almost like excited and like rocking his chair and doing all this shit, and yelling and making a big deal. And Tyson told him, like, dude, you need to chill, type of shit. And he kept going. So then Tyson turned around and just pummeled his ass.
Well, I've got the video here.
It's fucking great.
No one else is going to be able to see it, but they can hear it if it'll play. Well, let's make
one
sure
of them. There's like two videos.
So let's
Are we going to
give
get
it a second? I don't think so. I've turned the advertisement down. So news at noon. I don't fucking care, man. Just show me the video.
Why don't you watch it on your own time?
At San Francisco Airport, TMZ obtained cell phone.
He's going to talk.
Yeah, I told you.
All right.
But anyway, yeah. So Mike Tyson, and again, I just watched part of the video and read like the first TMZ reports type of shit. But it's
so because the guy was flipping out about being on a plane with him, he just punched him.
No, I mean the guy was like physically yelling in his ear and shit like that. Like, it was all up. Like, the guy was
like yelling
stupid.
What?
Like positive, not like you're an asshole or charging with fight. But he was like, "Oh my god!" And he's up like next to him. Just he continued, and Tyson was like, "Dude, you gotta stop. You need to chill out." And he took a picture with him. He did all the shit, and it looked like the kid might have been drinking. Like, I couldn't tell. Obviously I just saw the part of the video.
Interesting.
And one of the videos cuts out in between him yelling at the dude and then Mike Tyson pummeling him. But one of them just shows like Mike Tyson turn around. But I guess the whole story, supposedly what was read, is he gave him multiple warnings to chill the fuck out, and he kept like yelling in his ear and shit. So
how do you so you feel like Tyson was completely in the right, or partially in the right, or I get it, or what?
It's more of an I get it if that's how it went down.
Sure.
You know what I mean? Because if he'd already taken the time to, because again, what I read said he had taken a selfie with the guy and already been more than cordial, and the guy just like kept going and looked like he might have been.
Do you sue Tyson over that if you're the guy?
Yeah, because he'll probably win. Like, I wouldn't personally.
That's what I'm at. You
No,
you personally
no.
sue? No.
No.
I wear that shit like a badge of honor.
Yeah,
Like, Tyson
exactly.
beat the shit out of me.
And also, but that's the thing, is you can see the video, and Tyson he wasn't swinging, like he wasn't trying to
probably
crush the
not.
dude. He was just more of a calming him the fuck
Probably
down.
not. Yeah.
But no, like I wouldn't say shit. But I wouldn't do anything to piss Tyson off enough to get punched in the face by him. One, like on purpose.
Sure.
On a plane, I might be like, hey man,
hit me.
yeah, come on, hit me.
Just hit me once.
They'll be like, hey, you want to go to boxing ring? I'll fucking challenge you right now. Let's go, motherfucker. Knock that old ass out. See what happens.
Whew, I bet you he can still put one down.
Oh, he
there.
absolutely can. Have you seen any more recent videos of him working a bag?
Yeah,
Shit's scary.
it's insane. I mean,
For his age?
for
it's
his
fucking
age,
crazy.
yeah, for sure. But back just 3 or 4 years ago, he looked fucking rough, man.
Oh, yeah.
And if something happened, something changed, a switch flipped, and he
Yeah.
got back to working out or something.
Probably.
And he is fucking insane. Have y'all seen Mike Tyson and Joe Rogan podcast? Yeah. Well, parts of it I've seen.
I
Yeah.
haven't. But
Tyson's got his own weed company now too.
I'm sure it does.
So
He's come a long way back from that rape conviction.
he has. But so what I was gonna say is, like, he's a scary motherfucker at 50 whatever years old.
Yeah.
But she was trying to see what you're up to, and now she's turned around. Anyway. But go back and look at some of the shit when he was originally boxing.
Yeah.
That was the scariest motherfucker on the planet.
Well, you could
maybe
see,
ever.
You could see the peak when he started like getting lazy, or I say lazy, relatively speaking, like not training as hard and all that shit. But yeah, but in
I can't remember if it was Spinks or who was it that no, maybe it was Foreman. Is that who it was that just fought the same way? Because Tyson was just walked forward and just beat the shit out of him.
I think it was Leon Spinks.
Was it? Because for some reason I was thinking
I think that was his
Foreman
first
just got
loss.
in there and bullied him.
No, Foreman was the
himself.
fight where he bit his goddamn ear.
Yeah, but I thought that was a different. Well, whatever. Anyway, but they just
We
walked
obviously follow
forward
boxing.
on him. Yeah, well, we were also probably children at the time.
That was in elementary school in Colorado.
Yeah, there you go. So, but yeah, he just walked forward on him, and you can see that in the ring, the guys, they have no, ice bags or anything for Tyson because they never needed it for. They're filling up latex gloves with ice water and putting it on his face and shit because they're just not prepared for it.
Yeah,
but still, the scariest motherfucker in the world. I mean, it's insane. It is insane to me how much power he had.
Yeah,
it's I don't know.
That fucking uppercut, dude, saw it coming. I mean, you didn't see it coming, like watching replays and shit. Like you see that thing load up. He said mushrooms helped a bit. I believe it. Like there's been actually recently, and I need to find it and bring it in because I know
it's a study on microdosing psilocybin
and direct and actually a proper not a pseudoscience result, but an actual like medical study came out showing like how beneficial microdosing is to depression and bipolar disorder and all this other shit.
Oh, Bill Burr claims recently over the last year and a half, like that doing mushrooms has helped him figure out where all of his anger and stuff was coming from and everything. And so now, like once a year, maybe twice a year, he goes on a weekend trip with his wife and he'll take a mushroom or something like that. And she will stay sober to, keep watch over. And he was like, it's the fucking best. Like I come to terms with all the anger I had from childhood or whatever. And he said, I think he said his first time, he's like, obviously you are worried that it's just going to affect your comedy because he's just known for ranting and being an angry guy. And it hasn't that I've seen so far. Speaking of Bill Burr, he threw out the pitch at the Red Sox game the other night, but to promote, he's doing stand-up in August at Fenway Park, the first comedian to ever do stand-up at Fenway Park. That's insane.
Okay.
It's insane when somebody does anything like that. I mean, Gabriel Iglesias sold out the Dodger Stadium 2 nights in a row recently. I mean, anytime anybody does some shit like that's insane. But I mean, Bill Burr's from that area, so I get why it's him. But it's insane to me to think that anyone can sell that many tickets to something like that.
Yeah.
But anyway, so what
it does? That's okay.
It does what it does. What?
No, it's not an impress. I'm not like a holy shit. That's crazy.
Well, I understand that, but you're about to say it's not impressive.
It's not impressive.
How's that not impressive?
Because it's been done a billion times before now at this point. Maybe not at Fenway,
I understand,
but countless. And I'm not saying I could or I even have the ability.
It's still impressive, though.
I don't think I think that's common ground when you get to a certain level now. Like to me, it's a sign of saying, okay, I've gotten to this point. Dane Cook's done it. I'm not saying but I'm saying those types of selling. Bill Burr, like Iglesias, like all these guys.
Yeah, but I mean, Dane Cook did Madison Square Garden. Bill Burr's done Madison Square Garden.
Right.
It's not the same number of seats.
Right. I understand that, but I'm just saying though, it's still a level of fame.
Well, I get a level of fame. That, and it's still an impressive thing to be able to sell that many seats. That many tickets is an impressive thing. I just think you're defining impressive
different,
very skewed.
No, my thing is impressive. It's not. To me, impressive is it's something that's and this is where you're going to come back on it. Yeah, it's never been done there,
Sure.
but the concept, what has been done before. It's cool. I'm not going to take that away, and it's awesome, but I don't consider that to be impressive.
What's the difference between it's awesome and impressive?
Because awesome is like, oh, it's good for him. He's really popular. Like, that's really cool. He could sell that many tickets, but it's not like a holy shit. That's never been like impressive to me is something that's like.
So what's something that's impressive to you then? I'm trying to gauge where your level is that it transfers over into impressive.
I know.
Then how do you know this isn't impressive?
Well, because impressive in and of itself is an obscure relative term, and what's impressive to you might not be impressive to me. So it's just not.
I do
impressive.
understand that.
So it's not impressive to me.
I understand. So what is?
I don't know.
What's an event that has happened, or whatever? Somebody sold tickets or whatever. What's
it's irrelevant to this conversation?
It's not.
It is.
No, it's not.
Yeah, because it doesn't matter why I don't think it's impressive. It just matters.
I'm not asking you why you don't think it's impressive.
But what
I'm
has
asking
impressed
you
me?
what do you think is impressive?
Not much.
That's kind of what I figured, which means your opinion on it really doesn't hold a lot of weight then.
Not to you.
No, but in general, because not much impresses you. So in general, you're not a good weight of whether something's impressive or not.
Okay.
But I still am interested in knowing what is something that impresses you. Is there a concert, a performance, amount of tickets that's been sold, or something like that?
That might be a better way to put it. So, because honestly, like I'm shitty at pulling examples like on the spot, but really like a performance, a caliber of performance would be impressive over the amount of tickets sold for said performance. Like it would be more impressive to me to see. I'm trying to think of how to put it, even because comedy is a weird thing to gauge for me, right? But I would seeing like this amazing musician play or whatever. What?
Sorry, I was reading what I can only assume that's Trevor.
You know.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of Kevin Hart's comedy either, Trevor.
Yeah. I guess point being, like, I can remember like Bill Burr when he crushed it at what's the Apollo.
Okay.
That's impressive.
Why is that impressive?
Because it's the art form that took to win the crowd and the performance that went into that. That to me is impressive. Selling a fuck ton of tickets, you get enough popularity and fame, you'll sell that many tickets.
No, I understand that, but
so
it's still very few of them that
very few.
Kevin Hart's one that it doesn't matter what he's going to talk about.
Right.
He's just got a following that will do that. And
for sure.
And there's few other comedians that I consider along those same lines as Kevin Hart.
But a lot of them don't want to perform at that big of venues or wouldn't. I bet Jerry.
There are definitely some of them that don't,
because they prefer a room because it's a whole different feel, you know. And you can talk to a band. Playing an arena show is so much different energetically and whatever. And if a part of your comedy is getting energy back and interacting with the audience some, then you're not going to want that type of show usually. You know,
gotcha.
Just very. And so again, I don't have a strong base and knowledge of stand-up comedy, but for me, performance and the caliber of the talent that goes into that is much more impressive to me than ticket sales or volume of a.
So if no one had ever done a stadium before, would that be impressive? Would you say, yeah, that's impressive?
I think so.
Okay.
More so.
So then you would say Richard Pryor doing the stand-up special he did that released in theaters when it came out, impressive.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. I got to gauge then of what.
Yeah. So I guess so.
At.
Impressive. Two things. One is the caliber of performance. Two is the achievement if it hasn't been done. You know, when somebody does some shit that hasn't been done, or at least in their demographic or in their profession, whatever the shit may be, like that to me is what's impressive.
Sure.
Because the ticket sales come with popularity, and especially now in the age of media and the way to promote, and people, they might never have fucking heard of these comedians. Oh, there's somebody shares a clip on TikTok or on YouTube or whatever.
Sure.
And there's a lot more access for people to see them. And so it's a lot easier to reach that many people. I'm not saying it's an easy feat to sell out a fucking stadium. But I'm just saying it's not a nearly as much of a commodity as it was.
Yeah. To answer your question, Trevor, we've purposely stayed away from that topic, but without diving into it, slightly. He was a pro.
Yeah.
He was a pro for sure. So anyway.
But also, what recourse did he have?
What do you mean, what recourse did he have?
He could have fought back. Will Smith would have beat the shit out of him.
Maybe. Did you see the way he slapped?
Yeah.
He slapped like he had never slapped anyone or hit anyone in his whole life. Like,
Yeah.
no fucking wonder his mom got scared. He was gonna get the shit beat out of him.
That's true.
I mean,
That's true.
he loaded up like he was going for bear and then didn't know what to do after that.
Yeah.
And then he was just like,
yeah.
So I don't know, whatever.
I don't know. Yeah, it's whatever. I thought I still am not convinced the whole thing wasn't just a whatever.
Yeah, I'm convinced, but it doesn't.
Yeah.
Whatever. It doesn't matter to me though.
I don't care either.
Yeah, it doesn't matter to me.
Yeah.
I will be interested in hearing what is said later on in comedy.
Yeah.
Over that. So anyway,
But no, Trevor, I was not impressed.
Of course not.
Even though getting smacked on the Oscars, as far as I know, has never happened before.
No, not that I can.
It may have. I don't fucking. At least on stage when somebody was presenting some shit.
I don't know. Anyway, so
Kanye taking the mic from Taylor Swift, impressive.
You think so?
Yeah. Because it was a dick move, and I don't support, but goddamn, that's some baller shit. Just to walk up and be like,
that's exactly what you expect from Kanye.
It is, but not at that time. Like nobody saw that shit coming.
Maybe not.
Nobody saw that shit coming.
Yeah,
when it happened.
That's probably true. Yeah.
Yeah.
Or the time that he was on TV with Mike Myers, and he said George Bush hates black people.
On that telethon, yeah, that shit is. Man,
yeah, that was.
Yeah. And I'm not really impressed by that. I just thought that was one of my favorite like oh shit moments though that's happened in like pop culture.
Yeah. Oh God. Trevor, if you really want to see some funny shit in regards to that, go look up all the shit that Tom Segura tweeted and put out on video afterwards. That's pretty funny. Yeah. Anyway, so this is at least for the predictable future, your last show with just us. We'll have one more show next week with Dumbass Dudes.
Yep.
Hopefully you and Benny can kiss and make up. But
I wasn't pissed off to begin with.
I thought we do a little throwback to one of probably our best early episodes.
Okay.
And we go over some pet peeves tonight.
Okay.
In case things have changed over the last more than 2 years now since we did that episode, probably.
I think just more things piss me off.
Right. Which means you got more things to talk about. I thought we'd do that.
Do you ever? Okay. Go ahead. Sorry. Continue.
No. Ask me.
No, I'm not going to ask you. I got
you said, do you ever?
Well, you were moving on, and before we got to the pet peeves, I can bring that back up. So.
Okay. No, I was just going to say, aside from that, I got a couple of news stories later on if we need to, but yeah, that's kind of what I thought right now. Okay. That's as far as I thought ahead right now. I do have one other thing at some point tonight. I'm hoping I can remember to bring up, but it needs to come up later.
Okay.
So,
but what I was saying about the pet peeves, it's weird to me just how I compartmentalize and stuff, because we hit a lot of the same shit, but like I'll think of something that's a pet peeve and I'm like, well, technically it falls under this category. It's not its own fucking thing. So it goes here. So I really can't bitch about that too, because I'm already bitching about this, and it encompasses.
Do you have an example of two things that might do that?
Yeah, like going back to the Mad Marches. Shoes or no shoes on an airplane and dressing for an occasion. Those are very closely related to me, in so much I would put the shoes under that category.
Okay.
Even though I would categorize what's appropriate dress for or appropriate dressing for flying probably differently than you do, because I view it a little different, but it's still the same thing. Like, the same thing, like going to Walmart, like at least put on some goddamn clothes.
Sure.
You know what I mean? Like as opposed to whatever you rolled out of bed in. It's Walmart, but go ahead.
Well, I was gonna say, how do you feel about people who wear pajamas out in public? Granted, I know the pants technically that you have on, if I'm remembering the way you described it correctly, are
those are jogging pants.
Okay, I thought that they were more like
I don't
pajama
jog.
lounge.
I wear them as loungewear, but they are
They are
running.
All right, well then never mind.
They
look comfortable as fuck.
They are comfortable as shit, and that's why I got them around the house, because most sweatpants I don't like elastic around my ankles, like a lot of sweatpants, and those have really come back. But like it's like the longer they've tied around the bottom, and I hate that shit. And like regular thin ass stuff, and I was basically it was the same thing, sitting there and going, I don't want to just like wear fucking like pajama pants to fucking Walmart and shit. I need some shit I can just like wear around and not.
I mean, joggers that I've got on.
Right,
I
and
love these things.
And so I found these. They're super comfortable, and I was like, "Fuck yeah, jogging pants, white t-shirt." I'm like, that's fine.
Fuck off with that shit, Trevor. Act like you're in a cigar tube flying through the sky.
You're way more like amazed or impressed with flying technology than I am.
No, it's not that. It's just that at least appreciate what you're doing.
Yeah,
you're doing what God never intended us to do. That's why we have different languages and races, because he didn't want us doing shit like that.
Nice Tower of Babel reference.
Oh, God. Anyway.
I have less of an issue with people, and again, I don't know why I differentiate this. Less of an issue with people throwing on some, like, keep having their pajamas on, just walking to a fucking gas station, than I do going into like a store where you're shopping.
Okay.
Right. Because I mean, maybe you woke up and it's like, oh, fuck, I got to go get gas for my husband or my whatever the fuck. And you just had to run the gas station real quick. You're like, while you're here, like, oh, I'm going to get a goddamn slushie and a Diet Coke. You know, and so you went real quick, or you paid in cash, whatever the fuck it is.
Playing it fast and loose with what's healthy there, slushy and a Diet Coke.
So let's throw it together. And some fucking Slim Jims.
I'll have a salad and your greasiest fried chicken, please.
Yes. But I'm saying, so if it's an in and out type of place, I have a little less, it doesn't bother me as much.
Yeah.
But shopping around a store, it's like, at least, because
if you're out in public going in somewhere, if you get out of your car and pump some gas, I don't like it, but I'll overlook it. But if you're going in somewhere, fucking put some clothes on, not pajamas.
Yeah. Again, it just depends on me where you're going into. Like, anything over a gas station is not acceptable.
Okay.
But I feel like
I'll put my line at flea market. If you're going into a flea market, fine. That is probably your Sunday best.
Yeah.
But still.
Well, because my whole thing with pajamas, it's not even the fact that they're stuff you sleep in. Because I mean, I don't sleep in pajamas, whatever. But it's the fact that most people wearing pajamas, half the people, you're not wearing that shit with underwear underneath. You've been wearing those same pairs of fucking pajama pants for probably 4 or 5 days with your fucking sweaty ass vag or nutsack just rolling around at the base of that shit. And then you're going unbridled, no fucking space between your fucking taint and the goddamn rest of the world.
Oh, dude, when I worked at Walmart, so this was 20 years ago, you know, at least. When I worked at Walmart, there was this super fat woman that worked in like whatever the little grill restaurant, whatever that was there. And then her husband was this super fat guy that worked in the auto department in the changing oil and shit. And she would sit in that grill in the morning or on her break or whatever and talk to some of us that were sitting in there about her and her husband, and like, he always wants to fuck in the morning before we come to work. And then she's like, and then I never have time to take a shower or whatever. Oh. And she's big, and she would just sit with her legs just spread eagle, and you could smell every bit of fucking those two whales did that morning. It was rough.
That's brutal.
And they weren't even good looking fat people.
Oh, that's brutal.
It wasn't like Lizzo and Craig Robinson. It was
So going back real quick to what Trevor said, jogging pants and white tees, I have no problem with that, because I'll fly in a t-shirt, shorts, and tennis shoes. Like, no fucking problem with that. So jogging pants and white t-shirt, I'm fine with that.
I swear to Aisha, I thought you were going to say, I have no problem with a black guy wearing that. That's exactly what I thought you were going to say. I don't know why, but those words just rolled out of your mouth in my head.
That shows which one of us.
That shows your growth.
But like, I'll fly first class in shorts and a fucking t-shirt. Sure. I give no shits about that, but I'm not taking my shoes off, and I'm going to at least be in like outside clothes.
Dude, I've seen people cutting their toenails on a plane.
Yeah, fuck that.
No.
Okay, there's a goddamn pet peeve, is doing grooming shit out in public.
Even brushing or combing your hair or anything like that?
If you're in a bathroom.
Okay.
But like
what if it's windy outside? You can't get in the store and you pull your comb out of your back pocket real quick.
If you have like some pomade or something, fucking whatever.
A switchblade comb.
What I mean though is people like I said, clipping their toenails or fucking fingernails and shit, and all that like personal grooming shit it's personal grooming for a reason. Sure. Dip the fuck inside and do what you got to do. Like, if I walk into a bathroom, somebody's brushing their fucking teeth, fine. But goddamn it, if it's a busy fucking bathroom, don't park your ass in front of that fucking mirror doing your fucking shit when you got 7 people waiting to wash their goddamn hands.
Sure.
Fuck you at that point, and you inconsiderate cunt.
Sure. Yeah. What about this?
Oh,
in public. Now I do it at my house.
Yeah.
But people doing that in public on a plane, you're sitting next to somebody, they've eaten their pretzels, they're
teeth sucking. Yeah, can't handle, man. But that's in the same category as people not chewing with their mouth closed, you're smacking their gum, like all the mouth noises shit all falls into that same fucking category.
I have to be comfortable to go to sleep. Well, me as well, but what does that have to do with flying?
For sleeping on the goddamn plane.
God didn't intend you to sleep on a plane. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding about that.
No, it's funny. I used to could not sleep on a plane, but when I started flying more, it's gotten where I can. But then again, I'll drink a lot now and before I get on the plane, so I sleep.
I will when I'm in first class.
Yeah,
but yeah, I don't have a problem sleeping on the plane.
Yeah, no, I mean before I get on the plane, I'll drink heavily and then get on there.
No, I don't do that as much anymore because most of the time I'm flying in the morning time and getting to work. Yeah, you're allowed to drink at your current job, and then have to get off the plane, get a rental car, and drive into work. So I don't do that as much.
I mean, alcoholic surgeon.
Maybe when I fly back, I'll do some drinking ahead of time, but even then, not so much. But
yeah, no. So yeah, but that's just mouth noise in general. People that smack, people that suck their teeth, slurping shit. Like it doesn't
drives my daughter up the wall. People, any mouth noises like that, drive her crazy.
Oh, they do too. I fucking hate it. I fucking hate it, especially if I can hear you when you're in another booth. Like, how the fuck loud are you being?
Yeah. Again, I do it. I will, clean my teeth, whatever, toothpick, whatever at home. But if I'm out in public, I'll use a toothpick, but you won't fucking hear it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and that whole just mouth noise in general. Which is
eat a CBD gummy and a melatonin before.
Yes, sir. Or just fucking smoke weed like a man. But but another thing that really annoys the shit out of me, that's honestly a huge pet peeve, and it's kind of related, are people, and it doesn't have to be profanity, but people in like an adult restaurant. I'm not talking about like a family restaurant. I'm talking about like an Olive Garden, but like, and I'm not talking
when
like
you're there, your family,
right? I'm not talking like a fancy place, but it's a more adult oriented restaurant.
Okay.
Think
Hooters, Twin Peaks.
Yeah. No, or like Chop House down the road.
Okay.
It's not
a nicer restaurant.
Nicer, not fancy, but anything that's not oriented towards kids. They might have a kids menu, but it's not a restaurant that is built kids. Anyway.
Right. Not Applebee's.
Right.
We're talking, Fleming's.
Yeah, whatever.
PF Chang's.
Yeah, that type of no, for real. Though
I hate PF Chang's.
I know, but I mean, but those kind of places.
No, I know.
People that are overly fucking loud. Like
the dim lights are supposed to keep that down a little bit.
No, it doesn't.
But it doesn't.
But not only in this same thing with well, that's a separate thing, same issue though. But there's no concept for any other fucking table or any other people going on. They're just fucking loud. They're like especially the women that cackle, like the and you see it's like why?
Why do you hate women?
I hate women that cackle.
I
hate cackling.
What about cankles?
Cankles don't bother me. I don't
okay. All right.
No, but just that or the guys that's inevitable, like they're probably whatever, they got the loud voice and they're just talking louder because they want to be the alpha in the group. So they're really, really loud. But along those lines, in a family-oriented restaurant where there's kids and shit around, people like that'll just like use profanity as loud as they fucking want to. I'll cuss like a son of a bitch on the show. But if I'm in a restaurant, I'm going in with the thought process of there's other people here that could be.
So you will quietly at your table. You're not going to do it loud.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Like if we're sitting back at a table and there's some kids or some shit, a couple of I'm like, oh yeah, fuck man, that was fucking crazy. Did you see that fucking? No, fuck that, man. That's some like juvenile shit to do.
Yes.
Like respect the people around you. Like if we're having our conversation and we cuss like sailors, but not loud enough that the kid with or the parents next to us are going to have an issue. But on the flip side of that, don't bring your goddamn kids into a nice restaurant. Leave them the fuck at home.
I don't mind you bringing them in if they know how to behave, but I would prefer them not be there. But
I would respect
if
the
they
shit
know how
out
to
of,
behave.
See, I would still have a cutoff because you can't apply that to all kids. I would have a no kid under 8 rule, and then if you can't behave, I'll kick you the fuck out.
No, I don't. I still don't mind if your kid behaves.
Yeah,
that's the thing. Because in it, you have to know your kid, though. That's the thing,
right? But most parents don't. Like, well, he's fussy tonight. He's this, and that's what I'm saying. I would just rather it be a rule that you can't bring your fucking kids to this restaurant.
And I'm fine with restaurants having that rule.
People
whatever
lose their shit
rule.
over that.
Yeah, I don't understand that. No. I don't. I've heard people say that. I forget what it was. I was saying to somebody, and I can't remember who it was either, about
This
how,
is an Applebee's, not a showbiz.
right. What do you think this is? Charles Entertainment Cheeses? Did you know that's his middle name, by the way? I was like, a restaurant should be allowed, a privately owned restaurant should be allowed to have a smoking section if they want to, or just let people smoke anywhere in there. If they want to, they should be allowed to. And somebody was like, yeah, but I have asthma. I'm like, well, then don't go in there. Like, yeah, but that means, so you're saying I shouldn't be allowed to eat at that restaurant? Like, no. You're absolutely allowed to go in there and eat the restaurant. You just have to decide if it's worth having your asthma flare up.
And I am 100% pro. Like, if there's regulation that says, if you have smoking in your restaurant, you just have to have a sign posted on the door. Like, it has to be publicly visible. That to me, that's my compromise. Okay. When you walk up or go to my website, it says this is a smoking establishment. At that point, you can be like, I don't want to go there. Right. Or you can be like, yeah, I want to go there, but you can't call them like 1-star review. They have smoking. It's like, well, no fucking, or I went there and I asked somebody not to smoke and they still smoked.
Gone are the days where you could smoke in hospitals and airplanes.
Right.
There should be an airline company actually that just caters to smokers.
They tried it. It did not work. It did not work.
Didn't work as far as no one would fly on there, or the government said, sorry, you can't do that.
I think it just they weren't selling the fares they needed to run. Yeah. Or at least there were talks of it. Hold on, I'm gonna look it up real quick.
I bet you if you could afford to buy your own like plane to fly private, you could get people booking private flights if they could smoke on your plane.
Yep, here it is. And I remember it was 93 when it was founded, but it never got enough funding to start an operation. It was called the Smokers Express. It was out of Cocoa Beach, Florida. And
of course it's out of Florida.
Right. But the whole thing was like everybody was cracking down with no smoking on planes and shit like that. So they're like, yeah, fuck it. We'll have our own smokers.
See, what if Waffle House started their own airline? And that's the food you could get on the plane.
Scattered across this great nation of ours.
And you could smoke on the plane.
Yeah.
You had the one flight attendant or stewardess up in the area, and they're slinging hash browns, scattered, covered, chunked, and waffles. And then the other one's coming back forth down the aisle, light your cigarette, have your coffee in that tiny, tiny coffee cup, and just waffle air is what you call it.
Yeah.
I mean, I would fly waffle air.
Right.
Oh no, for sure I would fly.
Yeah. Oh.
Imagine drinking in the Admiral's Club or whatever, and then getting on and eating Waffle House and smoking on a plane.
Could you imagine just like what first class would look like on fucking Waffle Airlines?
A lot of pajamas.
Yeah, there would be.
No, I don't know. Could you have? No, I don't think you have first class. All right, all of your seats running down only in coach. First class is like the booths.
Oh,
that's booths in first class.
This.
But in coach or economy, if you don't like derogatory terms, you have the bar running down the middle of coach. You're gonna have to have a big boy airplane. Yeah, this is not your small regional jets.
Right,
but you have the bar where they're doing the cooking, and all of the economy seats are around that bar. So you're sitting at a bar top around there. I would prefer to sit in economy at that point. I would prefer to sit in economy at that point. Yeah. But that's, I think we just, that's $1 million idea.
Waffle House, give us a call.
Yeah.
Oh God.
And fuck Denny's.
Dude, fuck Denny's.
I look, if I gotta have some breakfast stuff and that's the only thing, fine.
See, that's how I'm with IHOP. IHOP is like
I prefer IHOP to Denny's anytime.
Well, yeah. But I'm saying with because I know a lot of people there. I don't want to go to Waffle House. Let's go to IHOP. Like, why? IHOP is the last
version we Popeyes and Hennessy. Henny Air, baby.
Henny Air. I like it.
I think they made a movie about that. Yeah,
but fucking know.
Soul Plane.
I just completely lost it after I have no idea what I was saying. But
Denny's. I mean, IHOP and Waffle House. Yeah, people say they want to go to IHOP.
Right. They're like, let's go. Waffle House is gross. Let's go to IHOP. I'm like, IHOP is the last girl at the bar at the end of the night that nobody else wanted to go home with. Yeah. So you're like, I guess.
She's not bad looking, but she's not gonna fuck you like Waffle House does. That's the thing.
Yeah.
And Denny's is the last girl at the bar after they've locked the door, and she's just standing out in the little patio area getting that last half cigarette down.
Like, can I bum one? It's been a night.
You guys want a nightcap?
One finger or two.
Oh my God.
You want to take a break? Because we actually have a little bit of a time restraint tonight. Just a little
we
bit.
do have a little bit of time restraint. Yeah, I had one more pet peeve, but I've lost it in my Waffle House.
Oh, we had already started the pet
thing.
peeves.
I mean, a little bit.
A little bit.
I think we tangented, but that's old school as well.
Yeah, that's true.
So yeah. Let's take a quick break. We'll be back in, I don't know, 10-ish minutes.
You gotta give me a minute to pull shit up. God damn it.
Too late.
Hey, look at this. We're gonna go say on a break. Be back soon because we are.
Yeah.
And I wonder if you can move that right in the middle. That'd be fucking sweet. Oh, you can.
Yeah. It says drag to move.
I know,
around.
but usually they click to a grid. So I like this. All right, going on. Break.
All right.
It still bothers me to no end that does not fade in such a hard cut when the video comes out of it.
Yeah, I could fix that. You
can fix that.
I can just go.
On the no. I meant like even I just meant from
the video
what's loaded when you upload it. There should be a fade option where instead of being a hard cut to the live, it would just be a nice sweet fade in.
Sure.
Yeah.
I see what you're saying.
Yeah, I know you can add one.
Yeah. I thought you were talking about an audio fade on it.
No. I'm talking about like physically in the streaming software, or not physically, but
yeah. You should make that recommendation to Melon.
They don't listen to me. No one listens to me.
That's not true. They did something you recommended.
Yeah, but I'm guessing it's something a bunch of other people probably recommended too. But
so that means they listen.
Maybe. Yeah, sure, I guess. And I will say, like, I know some people that we know have tried Melon, didn't like it that much. And I mean, they're still a younger platform, but pound for pound, at least especially what we're locked into, and they're constantly adding shit.
Yeah.
Constantly.
Yeah, for sure.
Like, and something I think is dumb, but the fact they added this shit for a lot of people is like, it's cool because some people love this shit.
Yeah.
I hate drops, but
sure. Go ahead. I know you want to click it.
No, I'm not gonna. But
okay.
But when I first looked at that one, I thought it said cheater, and I was like, what would that be? But anyway.
Oh Lord.
But it's cool they added that, but I don't like the emojis or the icons that they chose to use.
I see.
Stupid.
So something was brought to my attention the other night that I either didn't know, and I don't know how I wouldn't have known. So I definitely just didn't remember.
Okay.
But the conversation came up between me and my wife, probably Gabe and Olivia.
Mm-hmm.
And we were watching something, and I don't remember what, but regardless, I said, how many times do you think a quote young adult Christian couple that a guy has proposed and part of his proposal was washing her feet?
Yeah, a lot.
That's the thing. And my wife she was like, I doubt it, because if you're that into church or whatever that you would consider that's too intimate.
No.
I disagree with that.
Yeah.
I've
seen a lot at weddings too. But
well, that brings me to my next thing.
Okay.
You washed your first wife's feet at your wedding.
Oh, you asshole. Yes, I did. Yes, I did.
I had forgotten.
Yeah.
And my wife goes, well, Stephen did that to
your
first wife. And I said, did he? She goes, oh yeah. He washed her feet at the wedding. And I was like, how have I forgotten?
Yeah.
And I immediately typed it into my phone, and I have forgotten to bring it up for 2 or 3 weeks now.
Yeah.
And so, you washed
I was balls deep in the Christian life, man.
That's all your balls deep in.
That's true. Yeah.
Yeah.
I can't believe you remember you fucking cunt.
Yeah, this is right here. It's right here.
I believe
it's right here.
Bravo.
Stephen washed so-and-so's feet.
Yeah. Yeah. Thanks for bringing that up. Out of just one of the many lists, or one of many things on the list of regrets of my life. Yeah.
I bet though that she was freaky as fuck.
No.
Nah, she wasn't.
No,
I just expect all that repression and that big ass
no,
that she was freaky.
no.
Oh man, that's a waste. That is a waste.
Yeah, yeah. But no, I did. Yeah, but that was also really big in that time in the.
Didn't she
in the
also walk
non-denominational
into
churches.
Brown Eyed Girl
I don't think
in the
so.
wedding?
I don't remember if that
I
was.
thought
the
she
case.
did.
I don't think
But
so.
anyway,
I don't know.
yeah. So
Yeah,
yeah.
I've tried to block most of that part of my life out.
So do you remember what year that you guys got married? Was it 2000 or 2001?
It would have been
Because I got married at end of 99, and I'm pretty
Yeah.
sure I was married a full year before you were.
It was. I think I don't know. It was somewhere in there. 2000, 2001.
It was the first half of the year though.
Yeah.
I do remember that because Krista was pregnant. She was either pregnant with Matthew or
See, I was
Olivia.
on-
If she's pregnant with Matthew,
been-
then
it
that would
would've-
have been
it would've-
2000. So which you would have been 19. Were you 19 or
Right.
20 when you got married?
I can't remember. I think I was 20. I think it was
So
2001.
there's 2001. So
Yeah.
she was pregnant with Olivia at the
Yeah.
time when we went to that wedding.
I think. I really, like I said, you know how bad I am with. that
I
type of
do.
shit.
I thought maybe, you
Yeah.
know, you always remember your first. So,
Ugh.
I mean, look, it couldn't have been that bad. On the first night of our honeymoon, which we went to New Orleans for our honeymoon. It's basically all I could afford.
Mhm.
But so we stayed the night in Huntsville the night
Mhm.
before on that night, and then drove down the next morning. We're in the hotel room the night before and knock on the door, and like, what the hell? Open the door. It's my mother-in-law and father-in-law and his best
The
friend.
night before the wedding?
No. The night of the wedding.
Oh, Jesus.
The
So your
night
wedding,
of the
night.
wedding.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. The night of the wedding. And they knock on the hotel room and they come in with all of the gifts for us to
What the fuck is that shit?
get a list together of all of the, well, my mother-in-law loves to control things.
Obviously.
And you know, at 18 and 20.
Yeah, but still, like the fact there were other people with her that were like, nah, it's a bad idea. Let's do this a different time.
Well, so my mother-in-law, her husband, my father-in-law, and his best friend who just kind of went along with whatever.
Right.
Ed was his name.
I have to think that they were like, oh, this is going to be fucking awesome more than.
No,
Probably.
probably not. No, they probably thought this is not a good idea, but they were not about to stand up to her.
Huh.
No,
Interesting.
she is the breadwinner of
Yeah.
that couple.
Yep.
And
But I say that, but like looking back now, but at that point in time, at around your age, I'd have been like, yeah, come in. Okay. Type of shit. But
well, I mean, sure. Now, if that happened now,
Yeah,
I
that's what
would
I'm
for
saying.
sure, I would open the door and be like, no,
what the fuck you want?
no,
Yeah.
then close the door back or whatever. But then at 18 years old,
Exactly. You're like,
no.
Yeah.
Right. Okay, so anyway,
especially heavy in the church because you respect your elders and all that bullshit.
well, yeah, even though we didn't go to church with her and she didn't go to church at all, but I get what you're saying.
Regardless, yeah, but you still have that whole thing with adults. And at 18, you still look at adults as adults. And
right, it's before you realize adults are idiots.
right.
Yeah. So,
Yeah.
But yeah, they showed up on our wedding night. We'd been there probably 2 hours, maybe 3 hours at that point.
Enough to knock one out.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, at 18 for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. But still awkward.
Yeah.
Awkward, even though she's already pregnant.
Right.
It's still awkward as fuck.
Yeah.
Because they know what you're doing
Yeah.
there. So
Yeah.
It was
That's
it
weird.
was awkward.
It's
It
more
was.
than awkward. That's weird. That's a fucking weird thing to do.
So akin to you washing
Uh-huh.
your lovely bride's feet
Mhm.
at your first wedding. My mother
Mhm.
and I'm pretty sure Jordan's mother,
Mhm.
I'm pretty sure Joe's mother,
Mhm.
and maybe one or two other people. Could have been some men there too, because men lead.
Yeah.
Laid hands on and prayed for the two of us.
Yeah.
Oh, you were in my fucking wedding.
I don't remember
Of
it.
course you don't remember that. I don't know why I thought you would. I don't know why.
I mean, I remember being there
So-
and that it happened, but I don't remember anything else.
So another fucking weird thing is my mom had me, before she walked in,
Mhm.
go down and sit between her and my dad for a song and just sat in the front row. I'm already on the stage
Mhm.
with the groomsmen behind me.
Yeah.
And I had to walk down the 3 or 4 steps of the stage, sit down between her and my dad, who are divorced, by the way, and a song played. And my mom just basically sat there and cried. And my dad sat there and he said, you all right? Like, yeah, I'm good, but she won't
Yeah.
quit crying. He's like, yeah, I know. Sorry. They weren't married at the time either,
Yeah.
but he understood how fucking weird that
Yeah,
was.
that's weird as shit.
But mom wanted to do it,
like,
and
yeah.
at 18 in the church,
Yeah, you do
you just do what's requested.
right. And the whole thing, and that's the thing is like talking about it now, like the feet washing sounds weird as shit and whatever. But in the Brownsville revival times and all that, that was big fucking Christian romance shit.
Oh yeah, for
and
sure.
and so like I give him that,
lots of poon with that,
right? but as far as what your wife is saying about being too intimate, no, because it wouldn't be in a proposal. It wouldn't be in a one-on-one environment. It would be with permission and blessing of the family, who would also be there observing the whole thing, regardless of that.
You don't think anybody in
well, I'm not saying nobody did, but I'm just saying
proposes away from the family.
First, yeah, they do, but many, because I have to remember when courtship was really big. Everybody pushed courtship and not dating, and so families were very involved in that whole process.
Interesting.
Yeah, like half the time with courtship, you didn't go on dates alone ever.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah,
like, I'll tell you, Bobby just canceled.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
He thought we was good for 8, but his email specifically says 9.
Yeah.
That's what I'm actually gonna
screenshot and send it.
No, not yet.
Did the invite say 8?
Oh, I didn't look at the invite. His original.
Yep, 8 p.m. Eastern.
Really?
Yep.
Oh, that's the invite. I'm talking about the original agreed upon time.
Yeah. Was he pissed about it?
I don't know. We're going to have to reschedule. LOL. I thought we was good at 8. I'll catch up with y'all later.
Okay.
So whatever.
Whatevs.
So anyway, yeah. So back to, so I had the sit down thing, with my mom and dad, but then there was let's see here.
I think it was on Twitter.
All right.
Was whether the initial conversation
It
took
was.
place.
Yeah. So
I'm waiting on you, bitch. You're getting sidetracked and shit.
No, I was just sending that to him. But so my mom, Jordan's mom, Joe's mom, and a couple of people, whatever. Then so Krista walks in. She comes down the aisle, whatever. She comes there, and then we then have to step back down. I know I sent it to him already. We step back down, and there's another song or whatever played, and they all like put their hands on us and prayed over us, and then we went back up there and then got married.
That's fucking weird.
It is weird. It is very weird.
Like,
Sometimes we're just washing feet, though.
No, I said the laying of the hands thing isn't weird. Like for the church at the time, the coming down and sitting between your fucking parents is weird as shit.
That's
and the
weird.
People showing up at your hotel room is weird as shit. Like the washing the feet, the laying of hands, that's weird in retrospect. But in the circle we're in, neither one of those things were weird.
The sitting between my mom and dad felt weird at the time. The laying on of hands felt weird at the time.
Yeah.
But again, for the time and the age, was you just didn't question it.
Right.
You just went along.
Yeah, but I guess what I mean is it might have felt weird or been weird to you, but I mean in that environment and
it's
the
not
Christian,
weird that someone recommended it.
Right. Well, in the evangelical Pentecostal fivefold ministry, Pentecostal environment, like all that shit was super, super big. So I look at that as like, yeah, it's weird, but in that world, it wasn't.
Sure.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I
remember though my dad, because I had sex talk when I was with him. I was like fucking like 7 or 8. I don't remember. I was
with my mom.
Young. So
that
was the initial one, and nothing else really ever came about it. Jokes here and there, and then he decided to have some type of sex with me on the day of the wedding.
That's funny.
And I was like, yeah, I already know all this, man. I was like, I'm not an expert. I was a Christian kid, virgin, all this shit, but it was all like basic bit shit that not like I hadn't looked at porn at that point in my life. Like, for fuck's sake. I'm aware, of the basics, anyway, but it's a little late for that.
That's funny. Yeah. No, my mom had the sex talk, but it was more of a biology talk.
Yeah.
Because she drew the shit out.
Oh, wow.
She drew out a vagina.
Wow.
Yeah.
She a good artist?
Not really. I mean, I don't know what hers looks like, so maybe she's a really good artist.
She walked around naked all the time.
Yeah, but I didn't actually see everything.
Oh, okay.
It's just when someone stands up straight and they're naked, you don't see everything.
then she's not standing right.
Based on her drawing, she shouldn't have been standing at all.
Like if I'm naked, anytime I'm at a standstill, it's Captain Morgan. There's no like, there's no casually legs leaning back. No, that shit's fucking. Hey guys, what's up? I got 12 inches of justice with your fucking name all over it.
We used to do this stupid shit at work. When this other guy, one of the other managers that used to work there, because he just loved dumb, stupid stuff.
Right.
Like the dumber the better. And Captain Morgan thing. And then he had this thing that we would all do, and it was overly confident overbite or something like that. And that's and if you could catch him off guard and pair up Captain Morgan with an overly confident overbite, oh man, he'd fucking lose his shit. It's overly, the confident overbite is like this. It's like,
gotcha. That, yeah.
And if you could pair up a Captain Morgan with that, he'd lose his shit.
That's amazing.
But anyway,
so have you ever worked in an environment coming up that you look back, it's like, man, that was toxic as fuck?
Yeah.
Or
Goodman.
Goodman. Yeah. Yeah. I just remember, like,
I just remember old ladies hitting on all the guys.
Yeah.
Like the old
ladies. I didn't
ladies.
even flinch, get my ass grabbed after like a week or so working there. Them old women would pinch your butt and walk by. They'd fucking cup it, feel, we're fucking like,
Yeah, there's a union. They could do whatever they wanted.
Well, I told you that. Well, that was also fucking 20 something years ago now, 20 years ago.
Yeah, almost.
But I still remember, lady, I had
24.
torn my pants. I don't know if I've told the story on here or not, but I had torn my pants at work, working
Mm-hmm.
on the line and shit. I had a big hole in them, and I was getting ready to go home for the day. Lady said, "Come here." I walked over. She goes, "How long you had them holes in your pants?" I said, "I tore it early." She goes, "Well, if I'd have known that sooner, I'd have stuck my fingers up in there. You have a good afternoon." And I was like, "Well, shit." I was like, "Well, if you just said something sooner, I might have let you." But
good Lord, yeah,
that type of shit.
Old ladies are rough in the factory.
Right. I guess I was just thinking, I don't even think of what brought it to my mind is I started this thing at one of our the units that I was stationed at when I was at the Coast Guard, and I named it Inappropriate Touch Tuesdays.
You've told me about this before.
Yeah. And the whole thing was like, it was never like, it was always like against another dude. Like I never would like cop a feel on a lady or anything like that. But like, like your buddy would be peeing and you'd come up and you just do like a light rub, like up the ass crack, or
sure,
or give him a hug, or just like a kiss, like just weird, just really uncomfortable shit. And it was hilarious. We did that shit all the time. But thinking back, like, anywhere else in any like corporate environment, you'd fucking have a sexual harassment suit against you so fucking fast,
for sure.
Especially now.
Yeah, there's a guy at work. I don't know how he hasn't been fired for sexual harassment. He doesn't touch, but
shit he says.
He says some shit.
But in all fairness, dude, when I was in Texas, one of our guys, he's been with the company for a while, and he's one of our install guys. But it's the first time I'd worked with him out in the field, and he was getting ready to. I was leaving. I was going back to the hotel. I was flying out the next morning, and he's a pretty rough around the edges dude. Good guy, but rough around the edges. And he was saying something. I was like, "Well, man, it's all right. It's nice to meet you." And we've been drinking, so he shook a hand and gave me the bro hug. And I kissed my fingers and I rubbed it from his nose to his chin. And I was like, "It was really nice meeting you." And he was like, "What the fuck?" I mean, he lost his shit, but he laughed and whatever. But I was like, "Oh, that could have gone poorly for me." But it was one of the things. It just, it just came out.
This guy at work that played chicken with me today and lost.
Gay chicken?
Yeah. Except not the kissing gay chicken.
Okay.
But something was happening. He's a pretty big guy. He's 28, 29. Something happened where we ended up walking sort of next to each other.
Yeah.
And he turned around and saw him, and he just stuck his hand back like this. And I was like, "Game on, buddy." And I reached to grab him. He's like, No, you got to interlock the fingers. Like, fucking course you do. Of course
you do, yeah.
And I locked with him, and I was like, I promise you're not going to. And he was like, "All right." And he's like, I'm telling you, you're not going to freak me out or anything like that. Like,
there's a reason you and I have a truce on that. Yeah.
We just ended up fucking each other.
just to be the one that says, "Don't bother me."
Right.
Well, that's what I was trying to explain to somebody too. Like, I remember when Sticks and Stones were on, they're like, "Oh," in the episode after, like, "Oh, I think they're just into that." It's like, no. But I'm not going to I'm that competitive.
Yeah, that's it.
It's not about, whatever. It's A, it's about reaction from other people. But
sure.
B, it's like, I'm not going to be the one to bitch out on this.
Sure.
Like, it's you or me. it's gonna be you. I'm not fucking,
Yeah.
no.
I'm so straight that I won't back away.
Exactly. I'm confident enough in my masculinity
Sure.
and my heterosexuality. Yeah, we'll go. Let's see how far this goes, because I'll
Yeah.
walk away and I won't question a goddamn thing other than
No.
what your motivation was.
No, yeah,
to let me inside of
that's
you.
right. That's right. Just fucking each other, just going, you can walk away at any time, man. Anytime. The other one of us just there, just fucking pushing right back.
You like it, don't you? You like it.
Yeah. Give me them back shots, baby. Oh, Jesus.
God damn it. It's like, I bet you won't reach around. Oh, but fucking shit, I will.
Oh, God. Oh, Jesus.
Yeah, like, dude, you're so gay if you don't let me finish. Well, that's not me.
You're gay if you don't.
Oh man.
I went ahead and poured the other since we're not
Oh yeah, we're not
talking to Bobby. So I hadn't heard back from him yet. I sent him a screenshot. It said 9 p.m. and
Yeah.
I was like, I don't know what to tell you, man. I agreed to 9. I don't care what your Skype invite says.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, but
Yeah, it's like we saw the invite, but
yeah. And whatever.
doesn't
He's
matter.
probably high.
I liked him though. Like I would have been looking forward
Oh,
to
yeah, for
being on the
sure.
show.
For
You'll have fun, just you and him.
Yeah, probably not.
You will.
I got a feeling that this irritated him and I won't hear from him anymore.
Probably.
We'll see. Yeah, whatever. I am going to be on a show. I think you saw that this Friday night. It didn't start till 11:30. But hey, there he is. Oh, my bad. I put you guys down for 8. My bad. That is on me. I've forgotten to put you down on my calendar because you guys was last minute.
Yep, that's all right. Tell him happy birthday. Tell him Steven said happy birthday.
All right.
Text him on your goddamn phone. Tell him Steven said happy birthday, because that's what I do. I'm a sweet, considerate, caring motherfucker. I can't never. Oh, that just silences calls going out. I was like, I don't remember what that button does.
That's a mute button.
Yeah.
I mean the delete.
They
edit,
call it.
whatever
They call it
censor
the.
button.
They call it the shit talk button.
Is that what it is?
No, I removed the bleep button because
Oh,
it
did
doesn't
you?
bleep.
Gotcha.
It doesn't matter.
Oh man. So well, I had something else I was going to tell you, but I don't want to bring the fun we're having down because you're not going to care.
No, I won't. I can make certain that I will. And even if I do care, I will act like I don't care.
Well, I understand that. He said, I have to meet my family at 9 p.m. I got things crossed up. So sorry. Tell Steven, thank you.
Yep.
Tell TEL.
Yep.
Steven, thank you.
Yep.
So anyway, I know, because the only reason I was going to bring this up is because I know you were anyway, a big time baseball fan back in the day.
Back in the day.
So I think you
You say back in the day. It goes back to like mid 90s.
Yeah, that's back in the day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was a Wednesday.
But the fuck will that not go away? So I think you can appreciate this. And I don't know if they're playing tonight or not, but I tuned in last night. I'm not a Detroit fan or anything, but Miguel Cabrera is one hit away from joining the 3,000 club.
Okay.
In baseball, which is a big deal in baseball.
Yeah,
so
it's been done.
It has been done. It's still a big deal.
Yeah.
Very few people
not
have
impressed.
done it. Yeah, I didn't expect you to be. But so I thought I'd bring that.
Yeah,
up.
cool.
So
Awesome.
that's really it.
Very
Anyway,
anticlimactic.
climactic?
Climatic.
No, climactic.
No, climatic.
No.
It's very anti the climate outside. It's anticlimactic.
No. It's very the climate outside.
Oh, okay.
No, anyway.
Yeah, good. So, okay, as far as sports goes, and you guys might have talked about this at some point. I don't know if we have. Do you think players should be allowed to do steroids?
Yeah.
Yeah.
For sure. I don't.
I mean, they do anyway.
Yeah, they should be allowed. I mean, they're adults.
Yeah.
They should be allowed to do it. I mean, they're doing it anyway. It's been one of my complaints, or whatever you want to call it, is like back in the day, soon you have McGuire and Sosa.
Mm-hmm.
There's a documentary about it, but they're battling it out for most home runs
Yeah.
of the year
Yeah.
and breaking record or whatever. And they're both jacked up on steroids. I mean, if
Yeah.
you go back and look at McGuire when he first came in the league, he's a beanpole.
Yeah.
And then, I don't know, 10 years later, maybe he's just fucking jacked.
Yeah.
It's not natural jacked either.
No.
Yeah, it's not Dwayne The Rock Johnson jacked.
Of course not, because he's
No.
obviously all natural.
Oh, yeah, for sure. I trust him.
Yeah. 100%.
But that was weird. Barry Bonds, though, who was the man before them and still playing at that time and did it natural, like not on steroids, at least as far as not on the major, whatever. Maybe he was doing whatever everybody was doing, but he wasn't jacked up like Sosa and McGuire were. And then he goes, oh, so this is how it's going to be. Fine. And he gets on it and then he just obliterates the home runs. And then he's penalized and fined for, I'm pretty sure he's not allowed in the Hall of Fame anymore or anything. It's fucking insane. I don't understand that for the life of me. Maybe it just didn't sell because he didn't have anyone he was competing against for it. I don't know. I have no clue. But anyway, I thought I would share that.
Mark McGrath was a great ball player.
He was a very good ball player. He just wanted to fly, though.
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah. So, but and Jose Canseco is another one that came in relatively small and then jacked up.
Yeah.
But he also wrote a book and told on every fucking body, which that's something. I mean, because it's baseball's a bit of a brotherhood.
Yeah.
So
I was one of my guys. I loved Ken Griffey Jr. back in the day. Loved me some Ken Griffey.
I was a Canseco fan back in the day. I liked the Oakland A's a little bit.
Yeah.
Then, I mean, of course, everybody around was for the most part a Braves fan, but
the South.
That's true. It's all
I'm surprised that Nashville hasn't. I mean,
I was just thinking the same thing.
Why they don't have an MLB team yet?
Yeah.
I mean, I know partially. I mean, the sounds died down and they picked back up again, but
sure.
But I mean, they've proven that NFL can survive there, and now NHL. The Preds are fucking huge.
Well, I think the Preds came in around the same time the Titans.
I thought they came in after the Titans.
The Preds have been there at least 20 years, which would be after the Titans. If it was 20 years ago, it would be after the Titans. Because the Titans came around like 98, 99.
Because Titans came in shortly after they stopped doing arena football at the arena there.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
So have you seen this whole USFL that just started?
I haven't, which I was just going to say, though, arena football was the fucking shit.
Arena football is very fun.
Yeah.
It's very fun.
It's
like indoor soccer.
Anywhere, but
it is in some places. Yeah. I mean, I don't think it's as popular as it was for a little while.
It got huge for a minute.
Yeah, it was, and you'd have a lot of people that couldn't make it in the NFL would go play arena football.
Yeah,
but it's a very fun game to watch, and especially if you can go and watch it there. It's very fun.
Well, I remember the first time I saw it was on TV, and different arenas had different setups as far as the proximity of the fans. And in the early days, like I remember watching one of the first games I watched, some dude threw a pass and a goddamn fan reached down and smacked the fucking touchdown pass away.
Yeah, and
I was like, that's the coolest shit I've ever seen. And after all, they started getting some offset there because the fans were like intercepting passes and shit. But
if you do that in a baseball game, if you interfere with a ball as a fan, like you're out. I don't care if it's a foul ball and there's a chance the guy could catch it. If you touch that ball, you're out. They'll throw you out of the stadium.
Yeah,
it's insane to me now.
Yeah,
I mean, I don't know. There should be a smoking section at baseball stadiums for the drunks and the people that actually care about the game. Section. And degenerates. You care about the game, but you also want to run your mouth and smoke a cigarette. So anyway. So the USFL started last weekend.
Which is?
It's the US Football League. It's not the NFL, but it's a professional football league.
Okay.
Play on Saturdays now.
American football.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yep. Yeah, football. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, not football.
Not
football.
Not football.
Yeah, not football. Football. So anyway.
All right. Are there other actual teams outside of the U.S. in this league?
Oh, I don't know. It's the USFL, so probably.
Oh, the USFL. Gotcha.
Yeah. What did you think I said?
I don't know.
USFL. Yeah. There are.
My immediate thought was just something outside of the NFL that was playing. So I didn't think of the US.
I'm pretty sure I saw something where a wide receiver that had retired a few years ago from the NFL is going to go play in the USF. I think he's bought into it.
I'm just curious because almost any spinoff of the NFL, or I should say spinoff, but any
professional football
has not lasted long.
No, but the XFL did one season way back in the early 2000s, and then it came back a year or so ago, and COVID squashed that. But it's about to come back again
because the XFL was conceptually was pretty fucking cool.
It was very cool.
Yeah.
I mean, the announcers were cool. I mean, I think Stone Cold was one of the announcers, and he just straight up shit talked the commissioner of the NFL on game play. I mean,
and I remember like it was a little more rough and tumble, was it not? Like I don't remember all the differences between it, but it was a lot more like there weren't really many like late hit penalties and shit like that.
The over the field camera that the NFL uses, the XFL was the first one to do that. They had that take you into the action camera, and the NFL was like, fuck, that's a good idea.
Yeah,
let's steal that and tell everybody else they can't use it. But The Rock is the one kind of backing and heading up the XFL in this next rendition. So we'll see.
I just don't remember what some of the rules and shit were. I just remember it was advertised as basically like a more manly, like extreme football.
That's it. It was extreme football, and they got paid based on how well they performed and if they won, not just a set salary.
Yeah.
So that was always, just that incentive-based play is very. I like that because you don't have anybody just mailing it in one game, But the XFL, that was fun back in the day.
And what was the one they had? It was like the lingerie football league.
They still do that.
Do they?
Oh, they still do that. And that the fans at the lingerie football league get nuts. The coaches chew them out just like professional football. Not professional because you don't see that often, but college football coaches and high school coaches. I mean, they fucking lose their mind on those players.
Huh.
I mean, those
I've never watched a game. I just remember
I've never watched a game. I've just watched tons of videos of the coaches losing their shit.
I bet you have.
It is insane to me. I have tons and tons of videos. Yeah. No, it's insane how much these coaches go off on a woman wearing a bra and panties and a tiny set of shoulder pads and a helmet. Yeah. And just going off on her about why she didn't break that bitch's neck.
Yeah.
Like it's so funny. It's so funny.
That's insane.
It's like you're talking to a woman in lingerie and like he's literally going, she's coming in here, and if you don't go across the line and break her goddamn neck, then you and it's just insane. It's so funny though.
It shows like because that league was made as a commodity, right? Because it is a brilliant idea.
It's a brilliant idea, yes.
But then they bring in these coaches, and these coaches are like, well, I'm a fucking coach. This is a joke. We're gonna goddamn be a good team. We're gonna make something out of this.
So
shit.
if you've never seen any of the action of it, those women knock the shit out of each other on that field. They're not taking it easy.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know how people aren't dying or breaking collarbones and shit. I mean, they knock the shit out of each other.
Wow.
It's so funny. It's so funny.
No, I didn't know it was a thing. I thought it was like a brief flash in the pan.
Feminism be damned. I'm beating that bitch's ass.
Yeah.
Oh my God. It's a shorter field, almost like an arena football type situation.
Melissa actually played like women's professional, like the WNFL was a short-lived thing.
I remember her doing that. Yeah. Because she played professional softball at one point too, didn't she?
Yeah. She was set to go to the Olympics back. I don't remember which fucking ones they were, but
why
she would have been 6 or 7. She broke her back.
Ah, yes.
Yeah. She was throwing so fucking hard and was so young it separated her. Bring her shit. Yeah,
I remember that. I remember she was a very good.
So I shouldn't say she broke her back. She had stress fractures on her spine.
Gotcha.
Yeah, or vertebrae or
fucking
some
pussy.
Shit. Yeah, right. She just sucked it up and gone.
Should have.
Yeah,
it's for your country.
Yeah, right.
I mean, come on.
Yeah,
you're in the South.
Yeah,
yeah, for God and country, man.
Everything.
That's it.
Yep. If she would have gone to the Olympics, Trump would have never gotten elected. So.
Or he might have gotten elected
Twice.
earlier. Yeah, he got elected sooner.
Right. Yeah.
Oh God. Yeah.
2024. Dude, I still know a couple people. I shit you not. That still says that they're going to overturn the election still and give it back to Trump because it was stolen.
There's definitely people that believe it. Yeah.
It's like it's been a while. It's been they're not. It's I think that ship has fucking sailed.
Yeah. Well, there's also the people that say
there's proof. There's fucking proof, man.
There's also people that say Biden's not the president. He's just allowed to pretend to be the president, and Trump is still the president running things. I'm like,
what?
Well, are you saying our economy's doing very well? Because if you are, fine. Because most people that complain the economy's doing poorly and inflation and all that shit. I was like, or are you saying the economy's doing poorly? Which is it? Because that's going to tell me where you really believe. Because if you say it's doing poorly, then you got to blame Trump.
Yeah.
So,
yep.
Anyway. But yeah, there's people that believe that Trump, it will be overturned.
Yep.
And then there's people that believe it has been overturned, but they're allowing Biden to pretend to be president.
Wow.
There are people that believe that.
I mean, in all fairness to that argument, watching that motherfucker on TV and stuff, he looks like he's just being told.
We went from electing a lunatic to electing someone with Alzheimer's.
Yeah.
Yes.
100%.
Yeah.
And I have, like, again, I don't follow it. I don't know what he's done, what he hasn't. I just know, like, watching the clips of him, like, on stage and talking, I was like, it's incoherent nonsense.
No, yeah.
I mean, Trump
sure.
at times was like racist nonsense or incoherent, but it was its own, like, it was extreme lunacy, just way the fuck out there.
Yeah, but you knew what you were getting before he got in office. Is the thing. You didn't know this about Biden until he got in office. You're like, oh, somebody quit giving him his medicine. It's like something is going on. Yeah. There's a lot of rambling and really not putting words together with him.
And again, I don't know behind closed doors. I don't know his policies. I don't know anything else going on. I don't give a shit. I just enjoy. That's why I enjoyed Trump's presidency, not because I gave a shit about any political affiliation. I liked the shit show of
this is just a different shit show now.
Exactly, but that's what I'm saying. So Trump, I loved his goddamn Twitter account. This shit was amazing. It was just a minefield of fucking golden pieces of shit. It was fantastic. But now Biden, I like watching clips of him giving speeches and the shit he says, and it's the same amount of entertainment to me.
Yeah, he is like a older, slightly more incoherent George W. Bush. Because you remember Bush would start to get flustered or whatever, and it's just some shit that would just come out. Like shit would just come out. It's like somebody needed to get a hold of him and go, hey, if you get flustered, next question. Don't just pull it out of your ass, man.
Yeah.
Don't fool me once and then you know what I mean. Don't do that shit.
Stick to the script.
Stick to the script. But Biden is like an older version of that.
Yeah.
And it's just great. It's so good.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
But that's the part of all this that I enjoy. You know, politics be damned. I like the shit show of the people in
the people in office or the people supporting the people in office?
Both. They're two very different things, but they're still very enjoyable. Sometimes it's maddening though. Just watching how, I don't know, how serious some people take the shit. And I was like, it's not affecting you.
Yeah.
Or it is, or it might.
It's making them mad.
Yeah. It's making you mad.
Well, I'm mental mad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just like, why are you taking something they said personally?
Good show, guys. I loved Trump and Bush Jr.
Yeah.
Loved them. Interesting.
Yeah. But I just like watching one of my favorite things, I've told you this during the when Trump ran the first time, just watching relationships disintegrate on social media. Yeah. Well, when he ran, whatever.
They won both times. You're talking about the first time he won.
Yeah, the very first time. Sorry.
Yeah.
But yeah, watching just relationships crumble online. Like, people just,
a lot of people don't speak anymore.
Yeah, like I'm talking like
family members,
like people that have been
parents
close,
and kids don't speak anymore.
Yeah, like I've been close to my brother for years or my sister for years, and I just found out they support Trump. They're toxic. I can never talk to them again. I'm like, what?
Yeah.
And
that makes me want to talk to him more.
Yeah, but then you could watch these arguments happening in real time on both sides of, like you said, it was like a Facebook civil war, brother against brother, you know.
Yeah, it's like really what it was. I mean,
family.
It's like Family Feud if the first question was who's your least favorite family member.
Yeah,
that's what it was.
Yeah, and by civil war, I don't mean like the civil war. I mean a civil war.
Yeah,
like
sure.
You know, families divided over some shit.
Sure.
You know.
Yeah, it's still going on though.
Yeah.
It's just the two sides have now changed what they're saying. The side that was supporting the president is now complaining about the president, and then the other side that was complaining is now supporting.
Yeah.
For the most part, anyway.
That's how it goes.
Yeah.
You know, whatever.
It's yeah.
It is funny how, like, I don't understand how people can't see it. You know what I mean? Like people that are like up to their fucking Tennessee, if you kill a parent in a DUI accident, you have to pay the child supports. Huh.
That's not a bad idea.
I'm not surprised.
So if
you're the one, I'm gonna put this up here.
If you're in a DUI, if you're the one drinking and you have a wreck and you kill a parent, you have to pay the child support until the kid is 18. I mean, it makes sense.
I'm on board with that.
Yeah, I'm fine with that. Sure.
Yep.
Yeah, I think though, on top, you should have to now raise the kid though. That's the thing.
No, fuck that.
Not yet. No, I
Yeah.
think you got to deal with every bit of the headache, not just the money. Because there's plenty of people out there that can just throw money at a
Yeah.
problem.
Yeah.
No. That kid's got to spend every other weekend and one day during the week with you.
Yeah. So what do you think about DUI penalties? Like, should you just be allowed to do it and you're only prosecuted if you hurt somebody? Or
No,
like I do not like DUI checkpoints. I feel like they're a waste of taxpayer money, and they don't do shit for bringing down.
Yeah. I would
numbers.
love to see what the numbers are and how many deep people.
Well, they'll bring. Here's the thing: they bring the numbers down on the weekends or nights that they have them.
Sure. The problem with the DUI checkpoints is they're announced ahead of time.
Yeah.
Like, fucking idiot. Of course you didn't catch anybody.
But most people also don't check that shit. You know, if there's a DUI checkpoint,
regardless.
Yeah.
But I mean,
they work for catching drunk drivers, but they don't to bring the overall statistics of drunk driving down. They're not a deterrent.
Sure.
So
what do you think is a deterrent?
What's that? Harsh penalties for if you are pulled over or in an accident or like that type of shit.
Well, if you're in an accident, for sure, just put them under the jail if you kill somebody and you're drunk driving.
Right.
But I'm just saying, if you just get pulled over, let's say it's 3:00 in the morning and you're headed down Kingston to go home and no one's on the road but you,
right?
But you're drunk.
Right.
And you get pulled over.
Yep.
Maybe you were swerving a little. Maybe a tail light's out. Maybe you weren't swerving at all. Maybe you're driving perfectly, but a tail light's out. They pull you over. They smell liquor on your breath. You breathalyzer or whatever, and you're drunk.
Yeah.
What should the penalty be for that?
I'm fine with there being like, I'm not against the penalty.
I mean, they say it costs you roughly $10,000 your first DUI total between court fees and lawyers and all that stuff. Yeah.
Yeah. Like, I don't think there's anything wrong with any of that. I have no qualms with any of that stuff. I mean, because to me, like driving drunk in general, like, or intoxicated or under the influence of anything that can impair your driving, right? At that point, you're in a situation where you're not just potentially hurting yourself, right?
For sure.
And it's the same way I agree with not being able to fucking like be carrying while you're intoxicated, right? Because impairment. And all that shit.
We have laws against that too,
right? Yeah. But that's what I'm saying. So I'm not against any type of fines or prosecution or
what
anything
about
for DUIs.
Smoking in a car while your kids are in the car?
That's a little different to me.
Okay.
But it also depends on the age. I get not smoking in the car with an infant. I get it,
Okay.
And whatever. That one's weird because it can be harmful, but it's not always harmful. Does that make sense?
Yeah. I mean, there are plenty of doctors I've heard say, look, inhaling any smoke is not good for you.
Right.
But secondhand smoke, there are zero evidence that secondhand smoke has given anyone cancer.
Yeah.
But yeah, and anyway, that I digress by asking about
Yeah.
You're talking about harming someone else.
Right. Well, it's kind of like seatbelts. I think if you're an adult, you shouldn't have to wear fucking seatbelts. But if you have kids under that aren't of legal age to consent or whatever, fucking they have to be in seatbelts. Because you have parents that are just going to throw their infant in the fucking back seat.
But I think if you're going to choose not to wear a seatbelt, though, there are things you are choosing to now forfeit.
Okay. Such as
life insurance.
Okay.
I think if your insurance company should not have to pay out your policy if you choose to drive without a seatbelt. Just like I had a thought, and it was partially just funny. It's like, well, there should be roads that are for drunk drivers. And if you want to drink and drive, you have to drive on this road.
Yeah.
But if you choose to drive on that road, even if you're sober and you're on that road,
right,
you forfeit life insurance. You forfeit all kinds of auto insurance coverage. Anything you forfeit what would normally cover you in a vehicle or whatever.
Yeah, and see, I would have less of an issue with that. To me, that's a logic, because then it's not the government saying you can't do it.
It's making the choice.
It's like,
on your
hey,
own.
I need insurance, and the company that is going to insure me says I have to have it on if I want insurance. Then you have a choice, because then you're making a choice. Sure. It's not a mandated type of thing. But anyway, but as far as DUIs go, like I get it, but I feel like that the legal limit could, but that's the thing, is you have various people's reactions to alcohol so much, right? So because you could have somebody that's blowing a .04, and which I probably could blow it any day during the week and I'm completely functional, but then somebody else is blowing a 0.4 and they're fucking stumbling. Like, you know what I mean? It's just how their body processes. So I get you have to have a line somewhere, which I think it's 0.08. I think
it's 0.08. Yes.
Yeah.
At work, it's 0.0. 2.
It's almost not. It has to be
3.
pretty much non-existent.
Yeah.
Basically, it covers breath mints or
Pretty close,
mouthwash.
because we had a guy get fired for coming in hungover and tried to blame it on breath mints.
Yeah.
But anyway,
But regardless, and so like I don't know enough about. Trevor says DUI charges hindered the growth of my life. What? Did you deserve it though? Were you driving fucked up? But I know, but there's a whole slippery slope too, right? So I'm all for having harsh DUI charges, right? Because I don't know, you still have a deterrent, or it's the same thing. Like, yeah, automatically forfeit X, Y, and Z. You're responsible. Like, I feel like if you're driving intoxicated and you like hit somebody, it's an immediate manslaughter charge.
oh, wasted. He
Yeah.
says, yeah. Well, you should have gotten DUI.
Yeah, if somebody dies, immediate. But if somebody,
oh yeah, for
but
sure.
to me, I think if you just hit somebody and they're injured, it should be an attempted manslaughter charge.
Sure, I can go with that. Yeah.
So, but I don't know. But there's so many times too, though. You have lawyers and shit, because part of the problem is our legal system and how we enforce it and how they write it up. There's so many loopholes and fucked up ways and ways it gets taken advantage of, by, again, like, I don't feel like that, because if you're intentionally out as a cop and you see a guy with a taillight out and it's 2 a.m. and it's outside of downtown Knoxville, you're pulling them over because you're hoping to give them a DUI.
More than likely, yes.
Right. Because 9 out of 10, like, how many people driving around fucking here do you see people with tail lights out that they're not getting pulled over for that shit?
Oh yeah, probably. Yeah,
Yeah.
for sure.
And so, like, that I have a little more of an issue.
Although I've gotten pulled over a ton back in the day. We had a van, and it was a known issue with that model.
Right.
It would just blow tail lights at random. I've been pulled over probably 10 times or more for blown headlights. Tail lights, not headlights.
Yeah, but
sorry.
I'm just saying, in the South, though, you see it a lot and whatever. But why do we need license to drive? See, this is two-part of it. Like, I think in answer to Trevor's question, why do we need license to drive? Is it about profit, or does the country give a fuck? I don't think it's that it matters, but at what point do you just give somebody keys to a vehicle that can potentially murder somebody and not have any type of qualifications to get it? I don't necessarily think it needs to be mandated through the government, although they use that for tracking for criminal, for questionable and reasonable things.
More people die behind the wheel or because of someone behind the wheel of a vehicle every year than almost anything else. And so there has to be some kind of test or something to know if you can drive or not.
But I get that there's some of the usage for it and, all the kind of stuff. Like, basically, driver's licenses are the original data mining to a large degree. I'm more for I don't like the system with the DMV and shit that we have. Like, I get registering your vehicles and shit, but it's having the same as the driver's license. I'd almost rather it be almost like a higher education class, or even high school, like, or a private entity that you pay for a certification, and they have regulations from the government to make sure that they're in the requirements.
Yeah.
But then you're getting, like, you shouldn't be able to just get your learner's permit because you take a test and then walk in and get your license because you drove for 5 minutes in the parking lot. That's not showing that you're because driving's gotten progressively worse. So the standards, I don't think, I can't articulate this the way I want to articulate it. Like, there needs to be standards. I think the standards need to be higher than they are now, but I don't think it should be through a governmental branch.
Sure.
Does that make sense?
Yeah. Well, how would you do it though if you're not going to do it through a governmental branch?
As far as licensing goes, so I don't mind government. It's one of those things that, like, some government oversight I'm not opposed to, like how the same way I look at, like, health insurance, right? Like, that shit needs some fucking regulation. It's out of fucking control.
Okay.
And because they don't regulate shit, like, it should be competitive, like in a capitalistic market, and it's not competitive.
Yeah, it used to be. Yeah.
Yeah, it used to be, but it's not anymore. And I feel like that, or like, what's another example? You can have a hospital that's a private hospital, right?
Yeah.
They have better healthcare usually. And they still have federal regulation they have to adhere to, being a hospital, but they fund their own shit and they still have to check the box off. So you're going to get healthcare and you're dealing with, like, the government's not directly involved with you getting the healthcare, right? And so I wouldn't be opposed to that type of ordeal where you'd go to a private institution to get your license or whatever the case may be, and they're certified by a governing entity, and then you get the education to drive there. And I don't even think necessarily needs to be cost prohibitive. Like, I don't feel like
But
only
as soon as
people
you
with money.
privatize that shit like that,
I know.
people are going to bitch.
Well,
about
I'm
it.
not saying there's no other issues with it, but I'm just saying is I don't know. I don't quite know how to a good solution.
The problem
for
with the argument about privatizing things is, for the most part, and I mean,
costs go up.
well, yeah, but if there's competition, the private sector figures out the least expensive way to get things done.
Yes.
And the government always
Yeah.
figures out the most expensive
Yeah.
way to get shit done. Now, you could throw the example out of like you said, insurance being
Right.
so expensive. That's kind of the exception that proves the rule. But I
Right.
mean,
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah, I guess so. My point being, I feel like, and this is the fine line to walk, right? Because you get a lot of ID stuff that people say, well, it makes it harder for people in various communities to get driver's licenses and shit like that. Because I don't know, fees, whatever. But I still think, if my bottom line under all this shit, the whole thing I'm getting at is there should be more stringent requirements in order to pass the test to get a driver's license. That's the whole thing I'm coming down to.
yeah, regardless of who's testing you, there should be a more stringent test.
Yes,
you're saying.
if nothing else,
Gotcha.
at a minimum, or at least more required. Like, if you get your pilot's license, let's put it this way: you get your pilot's license, it's still a government issued pilot's license,
Sure.
but you're not going to a local government facility to do
Right.
it. You can go take it to a private, through an airport, whatever the fuck it is.
Right.
But the requirements to get a pilot's license, it's, I don't remember how many hours, but it's so much time.
It's a lot.
And the thing is, like, I get it, because it's really easy to fucking kill yourself in a plane, but it's a whole lot easier to kill other people in a fucking car.
Yes.
And again, I get car or planes are much more complicated to fly. I understand
Sure.
that, but
still, per capita, there are more deaths in cars or from cars
Yeah.
than planes.
exactly.
Yeah. And same with, more deaths or cars than motorcycles per capita.
Right. And like I
So-
said, I can't say that I don't know what those rules would be, whatever. I just think more practical time behind a wheel and more stressful situation.
Sure.
Have to have so many hours in inclement weather, or
Yeah.
some, even if it's simulated inclement weather, like, because I know, like, in the desert you're not going to have fucking monsoons, but
Yeah.
but you could wet a fucking course down and let people,
Well,
drive
so
them
there's a
fucking-
driving school out in either California or Arizona. It's Bob Bondurant, who used to be big into, like, owned and did some racing
Yeah.
back in the day during Carol Shelby's time. But it's Bob Bondurant School of Driving,
Mhm.
and they do the skid pad, evasive driving,
Mhm.
all this shit where you just go out there, and a lot of people go and do it for fun.
Yeah.
But I mean, if you live somewhere around there and you can afford it, because it's not cheap, if you can afford it, it's a fucking great thing
Yeah.
to have your kids go do at
for sure.
14, 15, 16 years
Yeah.
old.
But to have those kind of options, I don't know. I
mean, you should have, part of your driving test should be regaining control or learning how to steer with a skid.
Yeah.
I mean, I saw a guy whatever day last week, it was pouring rain. All of a sudden I saw lights flash from the rearview mirror, and there's a guy, it's quite a ways behind me, but he comes across 2 or 3 lanes of interstate traffic skidding,
Mhm.
and he knew what he was doing.
Yeah.
He or she
Yeah.
knew what they were doing. Didn't hit a single car. I mean, right at the guardrail, and
Yeah.
just stay out of it. Now, they pulled over afterwards. I don't know if they were changing clothes or what.
Yeah.
Because that was some gnarly shit that I saw. But
Right.
you should have to learn how to do that kind of shit.
I agree.
So,
Well, because then too, if people were better educated drivers and better drivers, then there's other traffic laws that are fucking completely unnecessary that could be lax or could be
Sure.
loosened up, like a fucking 70-mile-an-hour speed limit on a fucking 100-mile stretch of goddamn highway.
yeah. Or 100-mile-per-hour speed limit on the interstate.
Yeah, well, that's what I'm getting at.
Oh, well, sorry. You said highway, so I was
Yeah.
thinking
Yeah,
like
highway,
Kingston
interstate,
Pike or
yeah.
Highway
I guess it
53.
is Highway 53, Highway 69.
Yeah. 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 Way to bring it down with all this privatization. and
No,
shit.
that was fucking Trevor. God damn it.
I forget what you brought up originally. Oh, you asked me about DUIs,
Oh, yeah,
penalties
yeah,
and
yeah.
stuff like that. But yeah.
That's what started the whole thing.
Speaking of,
People
you
like it when we're
brought
serious
lawyers,
sometimes.
do they? You brought up lawyers, whatever. That Netflix finally has the most recent season of Better Call Saul on there, and then the
Yeah, I
new
saw
season
that.
just started.
I haven't watched any of it.
You know, a single episode of Better Call
Nope.
Saul. It's very good.
I know.
It's very.
I
good.
know. I've heard.
So they have seasons 1
It's
through
one of those
5.
shows, for some reason, it's kind of like finishing Breaking Bad. I've dug my heels in because everybody's like, you have to watch it. You have to. I'm like, no, I fucking don't. And so I don't.
Yeah, I'm not saying you have to watch it. I'm just
know.
saying you're missing out by not watching.
No, I'm not.
That's it. You are.
I'm missing out on
Oh,
shit.
you'll be impressed. You will be impressed.
I do love fucking Odenkirk.
He's great.
Yeah, he's great.
You watched the movie Mr. Nobody or Nobody?
Yeah,
whatever.
it's great. It's
I've
fan-fucking-tastic.
watched it 2 or 3
It's a
times.
very impressive movie.
Very impressive. He was very impressive in that movie. And
We should-
RZA was in it. And RZA was good in it.
Yeah. We should privatize the movie industry.
We should privatize the movie industry. I don't think so. I think we should regulate it with government funding. Get some Russia and some North Korea
full
shit.
North Korea. Yeah.
That's right.
Only government-approved films can be released.
That's right.
Yep.
That's right. Oh well.
Yeah.
So next week, for the predictable future,
Mhm.
you're out.
Yeah.
And you're gonna be gone a lot too.
Yeah.
Even if you want, you're gonna be gone a lot.
A lot.
Yeah. So I got a couch here if you need to crash after your divorce.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you. It's nice.
Um
After I wash your feet and everything.
That's
I've done that with all 3. I've washed their feet.
I
I
was gonna say I did not know that. I'm surprised that went
No.
over with your second wife.
No. Oh my god.
Oh god, that's funny.
Oh, I meant to tell you.
Go ahead.
Because I forget this shit all the time. That San Antonio trip. A couple of guys were talking about racism.
Mm-hmm.
This has been a while, and I
Yeah,
forget
they were
everything.
talking about racism,
They were talking
or
about-
they were saying racist things.
It started off because they joke with a lot of shit, and they got talking about some politic, whatever, some of the politics, and they're talking about racism. And I was like, "What do you guys have against races?" And like, we don't have anything against races. We're talking about, the race problem in America. I was like, so what's the problem with all the races?
Formula One just got another race.
And I kept going, but they kept going. I never had to say cars or motorcycles or anything. I
It's
just
so
kept
funny.
going with what
It's
do you have
so
against?
funny.
Like, what races do you have a problem with?
Right. Is it just Daytona and Talladega, or
Like,
do you
right? Like,
or
what's
you
your-
don't like the Brickyard 500 either?
what's your least favorite race? Like, is that Bristol?
Oh God!
Isle of Mans, Isle of Mins. Yeah.
Why can't it be Isle of Women?
Yeah. And anyway, but I got them to Europe for a little bit, and they finally whatever. Now they're like, "You're such an asshole." I was like, "Yeah, it was so much fun though."
Yeah,
But-
that sounds.
But I
very
just
funny.
kept digging in with just
Oh,
like what
God.
race is so what's your least favorite race?
Yeah, that's pretty good.
Yeah.
that's pretty good.
You'd have been proud.
No, that sounds good.
Anyway, I interrupted you.
again, no, I have to go to
So what were
Jacksonville
you
this
saying? You're going to
week.
Jacksonville?
With
With
yeah,
who?
with my whole team, boss and everyone.
Oh, that
I'll
sounds
be
terrible.
there. Me and one other person will be there the whole week, and everybody else on the team is going to come in for a couple of days. My boss likes to throw down at night. Like he'll stay out at a bar until 2:30 in the morning, and he's probably 10 or 15 years older than I am. And I'm like,
Yeah.
dude, I can't. I got to get up and go to work in the morning.
Yeah.
I can't do that on a weeknight.
Yeah.
And be functional at work. But we'll see how it goes.
Yeah.
It's Jacksonville. There's not a lot to do. They have a Top Golf, and that's about it.
Yeah. Well, there are a lot of ways to get kicked out of a Topgolf.
There are a lot of ways to get kicked out of the Top Golf. Yes. So like I was saying, next week we
Yep.
will be on with the Dumbass Dudes.
Yep.
I have been
normal
promised
time.
all 3 of
Yep.
them will be here. Normal time, 8 p.m.
Yep.
Saturday night.
Yeah. The rumblings on the street is me. We might be discussing some Jesus.
Is that the rumblings on the street?
Yeah.
Okay. We'll see. We'll let you and Benny hash that out.
I don't care either way.
Yeah. Well, I think you do.
No.
I think you care about those
No.
atrocities.
Right.
So
No, my favorite part about that was listening back. Like, I just love the fact that I got under someone else's skin. But it was not even so much for what I said. I mean, he disagreed with the church stuff, but it was because of my excessive use of goddamn.
yeah.
Yeah.
He didn't like the G damn it.
Yeah.
So
Gee, damn it.
That's
Son of
what
a,
he said,
you
yeah.
Son of a B.
yeah. Yeah. Do you remember all the
She's a
things you used to
no-good
say
bee.
growing? You remember all the- That's good. That was good. She's a GDB.
Dumbass dude says, please don't
Please
do
no
that.
Jesus
She's a
talk.
GDB.
There he is.
All right, I'll keep the Jesus talk out of it.
I want to have fun.
I will have fun. I will
I'm
have
assuming
fun.
this is Evan. Evan, I will do my best. I've got some news stories I was going to do tonight, and I purposely didn't do them.
Yeah.
For next week.
No,
So-
I don't have any. Like, I'll throw a jab or two for funsies, but I have no intent on going into full on religious conversation.
A jab. Now, is that going to be like spear in the side jab?
No,
or like
it's a
nail
jab.
in the hand
It's-
jab?
yeah, it'll be
okay.
the nail in the hand.
Ah,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
I got you.
Yeah.
All right. Well, that's fine.
Yeah.
So we're going to be
the wind maker.
That's how you get rid of that resistance when you slap somebody. That's what Will Smith needed.
Maximum fucking speeds.
That's it.
Jesus had a hell of a bitch slap.
That's right. So, assuming this is Evan, I don't know, but Evan, we're doing a grab bag for you guys next week of alcohol, so we may get drunk. So, yeah, we'll be with Dumbass Dudes next week, and then after that, I'll be all by my lonesome.
Yep, from here on out.
Yeah, and so we'll see how that goes. So we'll see how that one goes.
Yeah.
So
we shall.
Anyway,
Yeah.
I thought I had something else. I guess not. Yeah. Until now, remember there is no live show this Saturday night.
Right.
2
This
nights
was
from night. This
was the live
is
show.
it. Yes.
Yep.
Everything else will be the same.
Yep.
So, until next week.
Stay streets ahead, friends.
That's right. Goodbye. Give us a thumbs up on Facebook at B3F Podcast. Follow us on Twitter and Twitch at B3F Podcast. And on Instagram at B3F_podcast. YouTube has all of our videos. Support us on Patreon or buy me a coffee at B3F Podcast. Send all your questions or comments to admin at B3Fpodcast.com. Find us online at B3Fpodcast.com. Rate us and review us wherever you listen. And as always, thanks for listening.